Hello, everyone. Welcome in to today's stream. Let me send out the noties and we'll get started as per usual. If you are new here, I have the Twitter and Discord in the description. Both of those are free to follow. Join our Discord. We have a really good community in there, and you can also reach out like support if something in the app is broken. If you need a password change, like anything like that, you can either email us, reach out on Discord. I have a video on how to join that on our channel. It's just like look up something about Propfinder Discord, you'll figure it out. So let me send out these noties and we will get started in just a second here. So give me 2 seconds and we will get the research going. I'm going to start in a different direction today. Usually I start with the injury lineups, injury reports, and then we go from there. However, I want to start today with first baskets, and we're going to do that. So first baskets we've been really close on recently. I am 2 of 6 in the last 3 games on them. Drew Holiday took the opening shot. He missed the 3, so that was unfortunate. What else did we take yesterday? Let me look, actually, so I can make sure I get this right. And while I do that, I'll post on Twitter and Discord. So that is all there now. But yeah, first baskets I think are a really fun thing to do. Mobley, I said all stream it was either going to be Mobley or Mitchell. Drew Holiday, again, missed. Brandon Ingram, it was actually Jalen Duren who we had a lot of money on yesterday. So he came through for us. And then DeMar DeRozan did come through. So if one of those other ones go our way, we end up cashing. But yeah, just unfortunate. First baskets are just like that. But I did some research before the stream, and I have a really good look I want to let you guys in on. So we'll start there, and I'll kind of show you my reasoning, how I do it. Also, NHL videos are out. The first one, the goal scorer matchup cheat sheet, finally out. There was an error in rendering, unfortunately. But all that's good now. So if you like NHL and you want to dive deeper into the research, see how I research, see how I recommend you should research, all of that is now live. Like the cheat sheets have been live for forever. Skater stats is set to go out tomorrow, so barring some weird circumstance, that will drop tomorrow at noon. And then the team stats cheat sheet is also going to have a video on it. Pretty self-explanatory, but I just wanted a video on it just to break it down a little further. What are the other cheat sheets in there? We have like odds discrepancies, which are out, and the hit rate, I believe. So yeah, hit rate matrix, odds discrepancies, those are out. There's just one video on them, like, because they're basically the same thing. So odds discrepancies will just show, odds discrepancies, right? It's like the same for every sport. Like the cheat sheet's the same. It's just for different odds for different props for different sports, right? And then hit rate matrix, same thing. So those just look up like general videos on that, but these 3 are kind of specific for NHL. So I made those. Let me catch up on chat here. What's up, Rug, Lib, super early? Yes, you are. TNT, Mike, Tizzo. Yeah, I had Drew and Mobley. Drew missed, and Mobley actually had possession stolen. Yeah, so I saw Harden actually had a steal. So they won the tip. The most important thing with first baskets, make sure you know who's going to win the tip. If you don't know, I'll show you an example of that. If you don't know, I would just lean off of it. I would just stay off that game. If you don't know who's going to win the tip, you have no idea who's going to get the first basket, or more specifically, the first attempt. And that is the most important thing when researching first baskets. So if you don't know who's getting that first tip, who's winning the tip, who's going to get the first shot of the game, there's no way of really, there's no real edge in that sense. There's a 1 in 10 chance your guy scores, right? No matter what. The books know that. So the average odds are like plus 600, plus 700. So if you bet even a few of those guys, which I'll also show you, that could be a good method. But make sure you know who's going to win the tip. So this Magic Hawks game is my favorite today. I've already actually bet on it. I was doing some research off stream, which I don't ever do. But I wanted to, like, first baskets take a long time to go through. So I'm just going to show you, like, the reasoning of whether I go in on games or I skip games. So you'll see that in just a sec. Let me catch up here. Go through play types. Play types as in like the shot chart thing. Like, let me make sure I know what you're talking about. You're talking about this? Definitely good to use the play types. 100%. This is basically, so like, John, to your question, it'll show the play type, how often this player shoots that first. So, for example, Trae Young's a bad example because he doesn't have much data. Static Clips, appreciate the sub. Let me find a good example of a guy who's played a lot of the season. Maybe like Luka. So, if you look at Luka, you'll see his top shot on a 35% frequency. So, one of every 3 shots he's taking is off of a pick and roll ball handler play type. So pick and roll, he's shooting off of that 35% of the time, and he's scoring that at a 48% clip. This is just the percentage of points that he gets per game off of that shot. So 11.4 points, or 36% of his points of a game come from that. And then you'll see ISO 16%, and it just goes down and down and down. You can also filter by field goal percent or frequency. I would highly recommend filtering by frequency rather than percent. We all know Luka's a good scorer, things like that. But some guys do have a way higher percent, especially centers. It really matters for those play types. Usually you'll see their layup percent, in the 80s, 70s, 80s, something like that. You can see Luka off the cut, but see, he's only shot on the season 1.2% of his shots from the cut. So something to note. Even if he has a good matchup, good matchup off rebound, but he only shoots 1.2% off rebound, right? So it's not going to be something you look at. And then this side is Houston's defense. So you can filter by the defense. I would always leave this by frequency, always. I guess you could filter by points per possession. So Houston does seem to give up a lot on the cut, just points per possession, but their frequency is also high on that. I would always leave this here. And rank 27 means they give up the 27th most or 3rd least. So hard matchup. Green is good, so good matchup. So he's the best matchup on spot up, but he only shoots that 10% of the time, 9.1. So, yeah, definitely take advantage of that for sure. Cash again, absolutely. What's up, K. Will? So far, I like Will Riley and Gui Santos points, but 3 for 3 yesterday for the free. What else is there to say about the app? I don't know, man. You tell me. What's up, Life? Do you consider the shot chart for a lot like that? Yeah. Generally, you'll have, you want at least 2 of their top 3 shots to be at least mid chances. Unless they're just a really supreme scorer. You could see Santos here. In ISO, he takes 12% of his shots in ISO, but only makes 20% of those. So, only 1.6 points. So, that's not something you really want to rely on. When he averages 40% frequency on pick and roll, which is going to be a lot of scorers' top shots, especially guards, but sometimes centers you'll see some other things. If we go to a center, pick and roll man, spot up, transition, cut. Where's the... I guess Draymond's not that type of guy. What about Kristaps? See, spot up, they rank 1 in giving up the most. So, things like that. You just want the top to be green. Anything over 15%, I usually take into account. Anything under that is kind of just null. Maybe he'll randomly get some points off of that, but you don't really want to rely on that. You just want the big numbers there. So see, Brandon Pajemski, look at his stats here. Spot up 27%, pick and roll ball handler 24%, transition 16%. So that's what? 65% ish. And he's getting rank 1, rank 7, and rank 8, all top 8 ranks compared to the rest of the league. So Washington is averaging, or on average, gives up a lot to his top 3 shots, which is insane. He is 0-1 head-to-head. He only had 13 minutes, though. We know he'll get more than that. Obviously, injuries and everything play into factor there, but he does have a good matchup, it seems, just looking at a play-type sheet. So this shows just general, how much points on average are given up to position, but this can be really helpful for a specific player type. Oh, the visual shot chart? Not really, to be honest. I know a lot of people do for threes, but I don't typically bet a lot of threes. But you can see his volume here. Look, like Brandon Pajemski shooting a lot of the volume from three. So that could definitely be something to take into account, especially with this matchup on spot up. See, rank 1. So they give up like the most on spot up shooting. Last 10 head to head, he just didn't have any. I guess he had some volume, just wasn't knocking down many shots. But yeah, definitely something to look at too, for sure. Okay, so I want to show you guys now the first baskets that I was kind of looking at. I already bet these earlier today, but I want to show you why I bet them. If you're following me on Pickett, you already see that I did bet all these guys. I'm going to figure out how to parlay them and show you guys how I do that. So I put the Pickett Discord and Twitter in the chat. I'm also putting a discount code, so if you want all this data for yourself, use that code in chat. It just popped up now. Code 2 months, the number 2, and then months once you check out for a discount. Not sure how long that will be available. It was supposed to be 2 months. I think it's been a little longer than that. Probably will go away this MLB season. So make sure you take advantage now if you like the data in the app. Okay. So this is actually my favorite game, and I will show you guys why in just a second here. The most important thing, again, so let's just filter on season. You can see the Magic own the Hawks on season. Tip win percent, first field goal percent, first point, first three, average shots to first field goal, and average shots to first three. So this is a really low number. Anything under 2 is a pretty low number. And then like 2.3 is a really low number, but they still outbid the Hawks on that. You look at last 10, 80% tip win percent compared to 60. So let's go see who's going to take the tip. Since I already did this research, I already know, but I'm just kind of walking you through my process here, right? So you'll see Wendell Carter, 8 of his last 9, 88% tip win percent compared to Onyeka at 60%. You're like, that's not that much of an edge, right? Let's look at the season stats as well. Wendell Carter, 44 of 63, Onyeka 22 of 47. So 46% to 69%. That is a 20-some percent increase. So already looks good there. Also has a 28% increase in his last 10. Last 5, he has not lost a tip in his last 5. Last 3, hasn't lost a tip in his last 3, obviously, since he hasn't lost one in his last 5. Onyeka, 2 of 3, not bad. But then the most important thing to look at, head-to-head data. So when these guys have gone against each other, Wendell Carter has won 2 times. Now, one was against Porzingis, one was against Onyeka. The most important one, obviously, being Onyeka. Porzingis is not playing in this game. He's on a different team. But yeah, really, really important to know the tip win percent, especially head-to-head and recency-based. But Wendell Carter owns him on season, last 10, last 5, last 3, and head-to-head. So I am very confident that Wendell Carter will win the tip, or that's just what I'm thinking. I'm very confident he'll win the tip. Now, the next most important thing, I guess, to me, is allowed by position. So since we think a player on the Magic is going to score first, or that just from what I showed you, it looks like they're going to score first because they'll win the tip. You can't account for things like steals, blocks. Well, the only thing you can account for is who's going to get the first shot. And I think this data shows that the Magic should get the first shot theoretically. So, with all that said, next most important thing to look at is going to be the Atlanta Hawks' first field goal allowed by position. So, you'll see over the season, they have allowed 26% to the small forward, 20% to the shooting guard, and blah, blah, blah. You get all that. Last 10, it's been 30% to the shooting guard, 30% to the center, and then point guard, small forward take up the other 40%. Last 5, it's been 80% of either the shooting guard or the center. Very important data to note there. This can be due to things like injury, coach decisions, lineups, like any random thing can really impact this number. But just make sure you look at the tip win, the seasons for that, as well as the head-to-head data, and then the position data. So this right here. Most important thing though, find your team who you think is going to score first. Once you have that, then go off this data. Okay, so once you have this, so I'm pretty confident either a shooting guard or a center on the Magic are going to score. But there's also another variable you kind of have to take into consideration, right? So you'll scroll down here, look at, just look at the season. I would just start at the season first. Who has scored the most first team field goals? So you can see on the Magic, remember, we're not really counting the Hawks just because we think the Magic will get first possession. When looking at the Magic, Desmond Bane has scored 17. Remember this, though. This is just a count, so this can be heavily skewed. So just remember that. I'll explain in further detail. Desmond Bane has scored 17 of 66 starts, which is a very good number. You can also see first team field goal 21% of the time. That's just 17 divided by 66. 17 scores on his team on a first team basket divided by his amount of starts is going to be this first team field goal attempt. Or no, because that's field goal made. So hold on, let me do 17 divided by 66 and see what this actually is. 17 divided by 66 is 25%. So he actually has a very high conversion. 25% of the time he is making a first team field goal, which is a really, really high number out of 66 starts. So just keep that in mind. And remember, shooting guard was in the top of the last 10 games. Now, another thing you'll notice is when filtering, let's go to season again. When filtering by this, you'll see the next guy in the Magic is Wendell Carter Jr., 14 and 17. So in 63 starts, they are getting whatever 14 plus 17 is. 14 plus 17, which is 31 out of 63, is almost half of the first team buckets. And you can see Anthony Black and Wagner are not even playing. So they've taken 10 of that. Or theoretically, depending on some injuries, some rest days. Theoretically, they've taken about 10 of that. Banchero has taken 8 of that. Suggs, 10 of that. So theoretically, Wendell Carter and Desmond Bane should combine for a 50% at least team field goal make percentage, right? So that's how I look at this data. Now, this is just season data. Everything looks really good from here on out. Now, let's look at last 10, last 5, and even head-to-head data. Let's actually start here. I thought this was really interesting. So you can see here, Wendell Carter, one of our guys that we were considering, actually made it head-to-head. Dyson Daniels made the other one. So that's obviously not great. But first game, you could see it was Wendell Carter and Jalen Johnson, which is really interesting. In 2 starts, those were the first field goal attempts made. So just really important data there. And we were already kind of on Wendell Carter. So just a little side note to keep that in the back of your mind. Now, let's look at the last 10. So if you go to last 10, again, really good tip win rate. And then you scroll down here, you can filter by first game field goal attempts. And Wendell Carter has a 22.2% in his last 9 starts, which is 2 of 9. So he has taken 2 of the first 9 shots to start the game. If you look at Desmond Bane, he has taken 20% of his last 10 starts, which is 2 of 10. So 40%, which kind of matches up a little lower, but kind of matches up to our season implied odds, which we had at about 49% of taking at least the first shot. But that was on team, not on game. So if we look at team, you can see Desmond Bane has an astounding 40% in his last 10 games. He has taken 4 of the last 10 shots. Bro, MJ, what are you talking about, man? He's taken 4 of the last 10 shots on his team in his last 10 starts. Anthony Black is out. Wendell Carter has taken the other 22%. So just something to keep in mind, 62%, basically 6 of the last 10 games, they have taken the first shot. So, I don't know. I'm going based off this data. Desmond Bane has 5 in his last 10. And again, they allow the most to shooting guard and center. If you look at last 5, you could also see here Desmond Bane. It was actually Paolo. But if you look at team percent, last 40% of the 5 games, so 80%, they have scored 4 out of the last 5 games. They have had the first bucket. And this data is so valuable because they always have, like, teams will always have a designed starting play. Like, they will start with this play, and you can see who the coach likes to go to. So Paolo probably comes down, gets doubled. I'm just completely guessing on that. Comes down, gets doubled. Bane puts up a 3, or Wendell Carter puts up a layup, and then you're good to go. So, yeah, I just kind of want to show you my thought process on this data. We do have a video on it, but just wanted to show you my thought process. So I put a unit on both of them, and then, yeah, that's what I'm going to say there. Also, last 3 games, it's always been the center of the shooting guard. Head-to-head, Wendell Carter obviously had that one, and Wagner is out, so he can't score, obviously. So, MJG wants me to move on, so I guess I'm going to move on. But I think first basket data is really intriguing, and yeah, I was going to show you another one, but I'll just move on because apparently you guys don't like that data. Okay, so let's start with the injury reports. Jonathan Isaac is out. Wagner and Black are out as well. Jet Howard questionable. Kuminga questionable for the Hawks. Jimmy Butler, Steph Curry, Al Horford, and Moses Moody out for the Warriors. Whitmore, AD, Russell, Keyshawn George, and Alex Sarr, and Leaky Black. So, like, the whole Wizards are out. Also, Alexandre Sarr being out for me is actually cooking my fantasy. So, absolutely cooked on that. And so are the Wizards. So, that'll be interesting. Damon Shaedon Sharp, obviously out. Youngblood, Robert Williams, questionable. Vic Krejci, doubtful. Demon, Sharp, Clowney, MPJ, and Terrence Mann all out for the Nets. What's the spread on that? Like 10 at least? Yeah, exactly 10. Suns, Dylan Brooks, Mark Williams out. Vooch still out with that finger for the Celtics. Edie, KCP, Brandon Clark, Ja Morant, Scottie Pitt, Santi all out. Ty Jerome going to be out as well. Walter Clayton questionable with an ankle. Essingwe, Collins, Simons, Jaden Ivey, Okoro all out. Sexton questionable. Lachlan Olbrich and Nick Richards probable. On the Mavs, you have Kyrie and Derek Lively out. Gafford and Klay Thompson doubtful. Caleb Martin questionable. Pelicans, Bryce McGowan's out. DeJounte Murray questionable. Not a lot of injuries for them recently. This will be interesting. I did kind of have a look on this game for first basket. I think it'll be interesting, but we'll see. Maxi Kleber with the Lakers out. Van Fleet, Steven Adams, and Jayshawn Tate out for the Rockets. Şengün is questionable. That could also play into factor for first basket. Spurs, David Jones, Dylan Harper, Luke Cornett, all out for them. Bradley Beal, Niederhauser, again, he's out for the season. Bradley Beal's pretty much been out for the season. And Kawhi, another guy on my fantasy team who's going to cook me, is also doubtful. So we'll see. Did you make a video on the first basket seeing that nobody else wants to hear about the information? Mike, I got you, bro. I also think I'll go over it at the end of stream because I find it really interesting and I want to put plays in. If you just want my plays for now, I put a unit on Bane, a unit on Wendell Carter, and a unit on Kristaps Porzingis. I would show you why, but MJ does not want to hear it. So, let's see. We can have a poll. Maybe it's just MJ who doesn't want to go over first baskets. I'll start a poll. Do you guys want to check out first basket data? Usually I do it at the end of stream, but I don't know. I thought it'd be interesting to go over today. I also had some reads, so I literally researched it just to see. She does not want to hear it. Alright, it's in the poll, boys. If you want to hear it, let me know. We'll start with at least the first game, and then no matter what, we'll come back to it, but I don't know. I thought we would start with first basket. Okay, so some injury splits we can look at for the Magic game. Pretty much just the Magic. Only Kuminga's questionable for the Hawks, so not going to be something you really want to bet on. They are +3, really high over-under. Remember, you always check this number. This signals a high pace. So you can see the Hawks are 4th, Magic are 13th. You can also look at these recent games. Magic ranked 2nd, Hawks ranked 19th, which is interesting because on the season, Hawks are ranked higher, Magic are ranked lower. But regardless, books think it's going to be a high-scoring game, so that's what we go off of. Just kind of showing you why they think it's going to be a high-pace or a high-scoring game. So, without Wagner, Black, and Isaac, Banchero averages 28 points, and his line is 25. So that's already a good sign. If we take all these guys out, he is 3 of 3, getting some good minutes, playing some good matchups. You can also see he has some good matchups in transition, ISO, pick and roll, which are his top, 60% of his shots. I don't know if they're on a back-to-back. No, they're not. So he has some rest, which is always good. You can filter that in here. Days of rest, 40% compared to 39%, so I guess a slight increase. Nothing crazy. What was his average minutes without all these guys, actually? So he had 29 in this game, but they killed him. So I'm not really too concerned. Another thing you could look at, if you don't want to look at project minutes, you just project shots. So he got 16, 18, and 14 in these games, had a minimum of 9 free throws. So I wouldn't put 9 just because there's probably not much data on that. I wouldn't put J.J. McCarthy. I would put 7 on 14 shots. So let's just say that. Let's say he gets 7 free throws and 14 shots. He's 63% on that. And then if you take out... He is a power forward, right? Yeah, so if you take out the other forwards like Wagner, Isaac, he's 7 of 7 on that line with a minimum projection of his points, and he's plus 100. So, don't know why he's plus 100. You can also look at the game log, 45% over. He is away. Away does seem rough. Atlanta is projected to win, but maybe they lose. If the Magic win, obviously he's going to have a higher chance of getting more points just because that's how winning works. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a really, really good matchup. Jadon, is your name Jadon? I'm just going to call you Jadon. If I'm wrong, just let me know. But the reason you can't really do that is if you put without injured and with start or a similar defense, there's just going to be no data. Unless you're talking about the similar defensive rating, which is data. Not much, though. I usually like a minimum of 3 games. A thing you could do rather is filter... that's why I kind of only filtered without the forwards, because that's really going to affect his minutes and position, right? So if you have Wagner and Isaac out, see how his minutes drastically increase? You can see the one decrease against Milwaukee. He had 29 minutes. But they just killed him, right? Was this game... Yeah, this game was without Giannis. They were a different team. Trash team, of course, but... 14... Yeah, so he's getting a minimum of 14 shots here, which is exactly what our minimum projection was. You could also filter... so without all, he's averaging 11 twos, 5 threes. So he's actually averaging 16. We have him projected at a minimum of 14, which again matches that. Filter in his position and projected attempts. Projection attempts like 14, which is what I've been saying this whole time. Okay. It's not going to change this because that's another minimum. Could also filter by the quarters or halves, depending on... So, like, this actually looks like a good live bet. Like, if he gets to halftime and doesn't hit, he seems to hit the rest of the way. Like, maybe he gets more minutes or whatever the case may be. Had 0 minutes in the fourth quarter here, obviously because they killed him. He didn't need any minutes. Gets a lot of minutes in the third and first, second most in the third. Yeah, always something to look at there. Little behind on stream, but Wendell first basket plus 1,100 on Bet365. Attaboy. One thing I will recommend, we got screwed the other day by it. Bane got fouled and made the first point, so I'm actually betting on the first point rather than the first basket, so keep that in mind. First point, you'll get slightly lower odds, but it's worth it, in my opinion. So if you want to take that risk of if he gets the first basket, then you'll just get screwed on it, but I think betting the first point, even if it's a lower odds, are still worth it. Bad feeling that he'll score his first points at the 8-minute mark of the second quarter. Jadon, if you want to maybe take a live bet on it then. Paolo RA has potential. But over his points? I don't know, man. I like his points. This is just without Wagner and Isaac with his minimum projected attempts. If he gets 6 or 17, he's 6 of 7. I mean, that's an insane value line, in my opinion. Also averages 28 without these guys over the course of 3 games. Averages 16 shots. Another thing we could do is just filter with starters and then give him 16 shots. 11 of his last 19 should get... We had him at like 34 minutes. 56%. But... it's just so different because these guys aren't going to be taking shots. Like, you take out Anthony Black, immediately looks better. Like, you take out, I don't know, Wagner, it's going to look better. So, difference between first point and first basket. First point is going to include free throws. First basket is just baskets. So, like a 2 or a 3. First point is just a point. So, includes free throws. For FanDuel, foul shots count as first basket, so that pays out. Yeah, I don't have... FanDuel is not verifying me, so... I've literally waited a week. I've, like, reached out to them. They just won't verify me, so... they're scared, but... On DK, you can either bet points or baskets, and I would highly recommend betting points rather than baskets. It'll also show up, if you just tail me on Pickett, it'll show up, like, includes free throws in parentheses. So you can see that there as well. It's his assists. He actually averages 3 less, or wait, did I say 5 less potential assists? Yeah, Paolo actually averages 5.1 less potential assists. Unless the potential assists just weren't in for the most recent game or something. Let's see. Oh yeah, his potential assists have not been updated yet. Again, potential assists are something that are just manual, so once those are in, you'll know, but let's see, where's potential assists actually up? Or his normal assists? So he averages 5, gets 5.7 without all 3 of them. You know, okay numbers. I would much rather take his points because he's hitting all 3 games. His shots go up, his shot volume, free throws, everything like that. But maybe if you like his assists, you take his PA, which also looks good. So you could take that as well. Filter by starters and pace. With starters, similar pace. Now, pace, remember, is for rebounds and assists. So assists do look good. He should get like 11 potentials with these starters. Hasn't hit on his points. But these were also, like, these games were 5 months ago. These games were recent. He shot 6 of 17, missed 3 free throws. If he makes even 2 of those, he hits. So that's unlucky. Shooting 6 of 17 is actually crazy. He shot 2 of 7 from 3. If he makes 1 more of those, then he hits. Shot 7 of 17 against Dallas, no free throws. Just had a bad shooting day. So that's, of course, going to happen. Was a close game. Anthony Black was also in, so he was taking shots from him. Who else? Suggs is playing. Yeah, so he was taking some shots. Anthony Black was again in this game. He took 19 shots. So the thing is, those shots just have to go somewhere else. But I am kind of liking the idea of taking his PA. I don't know if I love it over just his points, though. Maybe Desmond Bane, something with him, with his assists. Like, if you look at his analysis on his assists, he's getting, he averages 6.3. So if you filter out all of these guys, he got 9, 6, and 4. Very, very interesting. Not sure why he's plus 117. Maybe because of the matchup? Could be that. But recency will show that it actually does look good. Let's look for comp lines. When I say comp lines, I'm looking for like 3.5, 5.5 lines to see if recently they've gone over. VJ Edgecombe, 4.5 was his line. He got 0. 4.5 though there. Ant hit. But again, then you scroll too far and it's like 3 months ago. So does that really matter? I don't know. I typically just look at these numbers here. So last 10, 50% over. Last 5, 67% over. They are away versus the Hawks, so you could filter that on 60%, 58%. I do like it for... also, look at his head-to-head data. He's on the Grizzlies. He was on the Grizzlies. So that's the thing with head-to-head data. Like, I don't like head-to-head data. He's just on different teams. Like, but I do like his recency without these guys. Also, he averages 6.3. So here, just unlucky that he didn't get it, really, I think. Let's just say he gets 9 potentials. 57%. Without Wagner and Black, he had 7 and 9 in 2 of those games where he averages, or where he got 9 potentials. So I do like that. Do we have like a same game boost on this anywhere? Does DK have a same game boost on this one? That'd be nice. Could you research by fantasy scores? You could, yeah. Actually, do we have fantasy scores still? I think there is... No. I think there was, like, the problem with that was there was books using different methods of tracking fantasy scores. Like, for example, I don't know what it is in NBA exactly because I don't personally bet fantasy score. I also think if you like a guy's fantasy score, just take him for his PRA unless he's like a really good defender and he gets steals and blocks and whatnot. But if you're betting a guy's fantasy score here, it might be 36.5. If you're betting it here, it might be 41.5 just because they use different, like a point is worth a different amount, you know? So it was hard to track that. Sorry, let me catch him on chat. Wendell Carter, under on Giddy PRA. Keep it for this game, for the Magic game. When you look at head-to-head, you have to look at if the same player is going to be defending them. Yeah? But it's a completely different team. The Hawks are a different team. Paolo points with Stars away Monday. It looks good. I'll take his points. I already like his points. What was I doing? I have no idea what I was just researching. Something with Bane. Bane. Why am I blind? Where are the magic? Not without Howard. Okay, so you like Paolo on, what did you have? Starters away Monday. Starters away Monday. I mean, yeah, also looks good. 2 of 2, 18 and 21 shots, good free throws. Game was close. Not really close, to be honest. Oh, bless me. That was aggressive. Tristan da Silva, Wendell Carter Jr. first basket. Already took it, Jack. Love it. Oh, yeah, I was going to look if there's a same game. Point Parade. Where do I even see if there's a same game for this game? I do have some bonus bets, so I might bet those. I'm not logged in. There we go. Bet match up to $25. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, Bane assists I already like, bro. I like Paolo points. I like Bane assists. Usually that's good to have hand in hand. Oops, I already had a favorited. Someone wants Da Silva boards. I do get scared with Da Silva boards because we bet on him. He had like 4 at half and didn't get another one. Got 6, 4, and 8. They do give up a lot to small forwards, it seems. Got 12 chances in that game as well. Averages 6 rebounds without all of these guys. Chances are not coming through for some reason. Look at Wendell's chances, jeez. Four of his last 5, he's over. Plus 127 on FanDuel. Interesting. Da Silva 3's ladder. Why is that? Seems really hit or miss. 4 or 5. I don't like his volume. Like, the thing is, like, I saw Cam Spencer earlier get posted, and I like his stats, but I don't like his volume. Like, he's shooting 4 of 4, 4 of 5 from 3, and it's like, man, if he misses 1 3 out of his entire game, you're just screwed on that ladder. I'm just going to take all these guys out and see how everyone does on their points. Yeah, it's always Paolo, man. Paolo, Wendell. Look at rebounds. Suggs, Bane, 2 of 3. Da Silva, 2 of 3. Paolo never hits. Something interesting. Does hit his assists. 2 of 3, 2 of 3, 3 of 3. Da Silva, 3 of 3 on his assists as well. Averages 3. Plus 127. Not terrible odds. Let's say he gets 4 potentials in 30, like 27 minutes. See, that doesn't look great. Okay, I think we found the 2 best ones from that game. Could take Da Silva rebounds. Just scares me a little bit, but you could if you want. Probably looks good without Wagner, although there's no real way to tell because he's been out for so long. Yeah, without Black and Wagner, he averages 6.7 in 6 games without those guys. 5 of 6, yeah. Jeez, getting 12 potentials. Only miss came against Cleveland. So, like, if he gets 12 potentials, he probably already looks good. Yeah, 6 of 8 on that, but then you filter in, like, similar pace. 2 of his last 2 did get good minutes there. 9 and 7. Could be an interesting, like, double-double play. I don't think he'll get it, but plus 1,500. How often was he getting? Has he ever got a double-double this year? No. Plus 1,500 for something he's never done over the course of the entire season. That is kind of crazy. Just if you think about it. He had 9, 8, and 9. Almost there. Seems to struggle on the points. I do like his rebounds, though. I'll probably take it. Okay, Poll is at 72%. So after this game, we're going to go check out First Basket. But since you're begging on your knees, I'll check out McCollum first for you, MJ. Because his threes are apparently magical. He got 7 last game, shot 0 of 7 the game before. Has the entire starting lineup. Okay matchup. The worst matchup in the league in the last 5-10. Second worst in the last 15. So why do you like his 3 so much? His volume is going up. Hits head-to-head. With starters, he's 8 of 21. 6 of 19. He's due. Bro, are we fried? You guys should not just say he's due, bro. Saying he's due might be the worst mentality to ever have when researching player props. Bro, every player has a pattern. The pattern is he's not hitting, bro. He had the pattern last game. He dropped 7. That he's good for the next 10 games. He's not getting 7 again, bro. Like what are you talking about, man? He dropped 10 against the Magic. Please fade. Bro, I just gotta ignore you. You're not real. Like, you're actually pissing me off. Okay, we're gonna go over First Baskets. I'm gonna show you guys something that I've actually never seen before. This Grizzlies Bulls game is actually insane. So, let me show you. So, another thing you want to do, there's a lot of players who have taken a tip on the Grizzlies, obviously. Most of them aren't even on the team anymore, or they're injured, like Zach Edey, Santee are injured. Landale is he on the team? He might be somewhere else. Jaren Jackson's on the Jazz. I don't even know who Christian Coloco is. Okay, so let's just go through the lineups first real quick. So the projected lineup for them is Javon Small, Cedric Howard, Jalen Wells, Taylor Hendricks, and OMP. So important to note that. And then you can also look at the Bulls. Giddey, Trey Jones, Montes Buzelis, Leonard Miller, and Jalen Smith. So those are the projected guys, right? The centers for these games are OMP and Jalen Smith. If you go back to the First Basket cheat sheet and look how often these guys win, I'll give you a hint. Never. Neither of these guys have ever won a tip. Or wait, no, Jalen Smith, wait, was he in the last 10 he's never won? No, there was something like he hasn't won. I guess he just hasn't won in the last 5. But if you look at OMP, he has never won a tip in his entire career. He is 0 of 13. Now, I looked it up earlier. He's also like 6'7" or 6'8", so it makes sense that he's never won a tip. But then if you look up like Jalen Smith, I think he's close to that as well. So it'll be very interesting to see who wins this tip. I think this is a complete crapshoot. But yeah, just make sure you know who's going to win the tip. Now, 0 of 10 is pretty convincing, but Does one of two convince you to go over? I don't know. I would lean Bulls for sure because OMP has literally never won a tip in his life. Let's look at Jalen Smith height. Yeah, so Jalen Smith is also 6'8". So, I don't know. Julian Reese starts? Julian Reese starts for who? Saying he's due is the best mentality for the law of average, but that's only if you're thinking about hitting the average number. Yeah. I mean, sure. But if you said he's due yesterday, sure. Nate Williams starts? Bro, what are you talking about? Wizards? That's another thing, though, like Wizards, if you look at this game, Alex Sara's out. Oh, Julian Reese. Oh, okay. So it's not going to be Vucevic, it's going to be Julian Reese. So he's one of three. But I think Kristaps Porzingis is actually going to start. Which is why I bet on him. Unless it's already out. Are you saying it because the lineup's out? Let's see. No. 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 Yeah, I don't see anything. Bro only bets on greens, which is a terrible way to go about every bet. I do not do that. Alright, so let me show you guys, for the people who care about first baskets, let me show you guys why I think this is a really, really good matchup for Porzingis. So, over the season, he's only taken one, right? He's only taken one. Not only to mention, this is kind of a revenge game. He was on the Wizards. Most of you should know that. Kind of a revenge game for him in that sense. Al Horford is out. Quentin Post is questionable. Draymond Green is probable. Also, I think if your player doesn't start, I think you should get your first basket bet back. I'm not sure on that, but I would imagine you get it back. Also, he has the best or like lowest odds to score, and I'll kind of show you why here. So, where is he? So you can see he's plus 600 on FanDuel, which is, other than Pat Spencer, it's the lowest. Wow, first field goal for Pat Spencer, plus 370. But he's only on one book. Yes, I had Jason Wallace yesterday. He didn't start, so far I did. Cool. Appreciate it. My source is seldom wrong. Okay, man. We'll see. So, when you have this, just do the same thing like we did last time. So, over the season, it's kind of hard, but we know Kristaps Porzingis is pretty good tip win percenter. Vucevic has the next most. I know someone in chat said Julian Reese is going to start. We'll see. Bagley's on a different team, so he's obviously not going to start. Bob Carrington and Anthony Gill should not get the tip. This was an absolute desperation. So we'll see what happens there, but should be either Julian Reese or Vucevic. You can also see here, Washington allows 50% of the time in the last 10 games, they allow to the center. Right? Over the course of the season, 40%. So that's also a thing. No head-to-head data, unfortunately, with this one. Not like it would matter because Porzingis has barely played this year. The last 10 games, the Warriors have won 70% of the tips compared to the Wizards' 40%. Another reason I like them to at least get the opening tip is Alex Sara's out. So he's obviously their main center. He's actually, I think he's pretty decent. No, never mind, he's terrible anyway. So I would also still take the Warriors. But you can see here, better tip win percent, better first field goal percent. Wow, first field goal in the last 10 games has never been the Wizards. Over the course of the season, 34% has never had it in the past 10 games. So that's interesting. First point, also 60%. First three is actually tied. So maybe you like a Wizards guy for a first three. Last 5 games, still 60%. But look at all these percentages. All favor the Warriors. Last 3, last 5, last 10. No head-to-head data, as we kind of mentioned. But yeah, 100% of the time, it's been a center in the last 3 games. Now, I'm not sure I would take Draymond if he were to start at the power forward spot. Even if he were to start at the center. But yeah, right now, the starting center should be Porzingis. He should be cleared to go. If he doesn't, then Quentin Post is the guy, but we'll know more when that comes around. I think it's a really good chance that Porzingis does end up starting. So we'll see what happens there again. He was cleared to play, so we'll see. If he doesn't, let me see if Quentin Post has odds currently on DK. Let's see. NBA. Quick hits. Yes, so currently Porzingis has odds and Quentin Post does not, which would tell me that Kristaps is more likely to play. D'Anthony Melton also going to play Gui Santos, Draymond Green, Brandon Podziemski. Seems like that will be the starting lineup. This is our projection because we've never seen, with these guys out, we've never seen Porzingis play. If we were to take all these guys out and put Porzingis in. See, there's only 1 game, but Al Horford was out. So this was used on March 13th. You can also go to the box store, see how he played. So he had 20 minutes, 20 points, 7 of 16, 2 of 5 from 3. So he's ready to get going. He's ready to get active here. I also think this is just really, really important that Al Horford got injured, and Kristaps is like the only other guy who can possibly play center. I think it'll be a layup, a dunk, something. He's going to get the first bucket. That's where all the data's implying. I would be surprised if the Wizards got it. I took him again for the first points in the game, not the first field goal made. Make sure you go for first points, even if it is lower odds. I still think it's worth it to bet first point scorer rather than first field goal made. So that's my reasoning for him. I'll go to the next game. Now, here's a game I'm fading, and I will show you why. Klingon and Claxton have a very close tip win percent. You'll see 37 of 63 for Klingon, 58%. 38 of 58 for Claxton, 65%. Slightly favors Claxton, but, I mean, these guys are very good and, like, tip winners, and there's no real edge. You can also look at last 10, maybe one of them fell off, but look, 6 of 9, 8 of 5. It's just not something you're going to want to bet on. 4 of 5, 3 of 4. No real edge, so in this game, I fade, just because you don't really... I'm not going to say no that the Magic are going to win the tip or that the Warriors are going to win the tip, because anything could happen. It's gambling. But you have the best edge when you know who's going to win the tip, because that immediately eliminates 5 players, unless they miss the shot, which is always a possibility. But the only thing you can really bet on and bank on is narrowing down who's going to take the first shot. That's all you can really do. You can't account for steals. You can't account for blocks. Sure, you can look at defensive metrics, but, like, in my opinion, it's not worth the hassle. You just want to know who's going to get the first shot. And if you can get that, the data's right. And then you just hope they make it. So that's... Just make sure you guys understand that, because that's my philosophy. Only thing you'd really narrow down. I think that makes sense. Like, sure, you could go through all the hassle of researching all the different defenses, but I think I would just rather know who's going to get the first shot, or know who's going to get the first shot, and take that, hope they make it, and then go from there. Unfortunately, there is no head-to-head data for this game, for Klingon and Claxton. It would be helpful if there was, but there's not. Again, 3 of 3, 1 of 2. Just really, really close, right? So, not something I'd want to bet on. Next game, Suns versus Celtics. Now, Interestingly enough, Mark Williams is out. He is a 78% tip winner. So if he was in, you'd 100% bet on someone on the Suns. Mark Williams versus Queta. Give me Mark Williams. I love those chances. 39 of 50 rather than 25 of 62, which is less than half. So I like those odds. Now, here's the thing. Queta versus Iguodaro. Iguodaro has actually been sneaky good. 8 of 13 compared to Queta. Still has a higher percent than Queta. So last 10 games, Iguodaro is 4 of 6 with a 66.7% chance. And then you look at Queta, 2 of 9, 22%. So this game, personally, would be another fade. Queta's a center. Iguodaro, it has been good, but who has he played? I don't know, and for that reason, I'd rather just skip. Let me just research this. If you guys want to bet on anyone, I would pick the Suns personally. Grayson Allen, Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks is out. Appreciate the sub. Dylan Brooks being out eliminates 18% of the season stats, which is also really, really helpful. If you go to last 10 data, you could also look at this. So in the last 10 games, Jalen Green has taken 3 of the first 10 shots that he's started in, and 5 first-team shots. So if you went with anyone, it'd probably be Jalen Green. He's plus 700. You can get him for... I usually take 100 off of these odds, so you can probably get him for plus 570 on DK as a first point scorer. I'm looking for you guys now to see if I can get this. Quick hits, first point scorer, plus 680. So actually, still really good odds. I'm not sure if this pulls the first point scorer data or not, but yeah, really good odds there. Plus 680, I would take that any day of the week. Something that's interesting that I found out, like with the Magic, you would think it's Paolo, right? But if you look over the course of this season, who has taken the first attempt, now this one's skewed because it's only 2 starts, Wendell Carter, basically the 5th of the time, takes the first shot. Then it's Jalen Suggs, then Desmond Bane, then De Silva, kind of a little skewed there as well. And then it's Paolo. Even after Wagner and Anthony Black, which I just think is really interesting. Paolo only has 8 first-team made field goals compared to Desmond 17, Carter's 14, Suggs 10, and then Paolo 8. So, the top, out of 5 starters, he's 5th in the... I just think that's interesting. Like, the star player typically doesn't take the first shot. And I'm bringing that up because, again, I think with Booker, I think that was another one. Booker does. Booker does take the most. Dylan Brooks is out. But again, Booker has taken the most. But recently, with Jalen Green, it's been Jalen Green. And then Devin Booker's took 2 out of his last 7. 0% first game shots, which is always really interesting. So, yeah, if this were me, I would bet on Jalen Green. Gillespie could be more of a long shot guy. You could also filter this by threes. So Jalen Green seems to take a lot of first shot threes. Has 4 in his last 10 starts of being the first guy to make a 3. Only 2 first points, so maybe you take him for first 3 of the game. 4 of 10 is pretty convincing there. Let's see his last 5 stats. 3 of his last 5. So let's see what those odds would be. First made 3 is going to be plus 600 for Jalen Green. So, I don't know. Seems like a decent bet. What's up, John? Glad you made it. Not rage baiting. Jake is elite at this. Yeah, I did rage baiting. Okay, I'm gonna put the props up. Banchero over 24.5 points. Bane over 4.5 assists. De Silva over 5.5 rebounds. Okay, those are updated now. I'll also I'm not gonna put the first baskets. But right now I have Porzingis, Bane, and Wendell Carter. Yes, I'm taking 2 on the same team because it's gonna be one of those. I'll probably parlay one of them or both of them with Porzingis on a round robin. We'll see how that works, but I'll tell you guys when I do that. So take who you think gets the tip and has had first baskets. It's not like you're taking the guy who wins the tip. You want to take someone on that team. What did you say about triple double? I didn't say anything about trip dub. No trip dub, Martez. Not yet, at least. Going over first baskets now. So again, this game, a little wonky. I don't know if I would bet a first basket. If I were to, it would be on the Bulls because this OMP guy has literally never won a tip. So, pretty convincing. But Vooch, it's either going to be Matas or Jalen Smith. It should be Jalen Smith. He has won 2 of 8. My only concern, these guys are literally the same height. If OMP were to win a tip, it would be tonight. So for that, I'd probably just hold off. But we could look at like last 10. You also kind of want to filter by who's starting. You want to make sure the guy you're betting on is going to start, obviously. So Matas maybe. I don't know if Trey Jones is starting. I didn't really look at the Bulls lineup. Trey Jones is starting. So another thing you could do here is look at the positions like we've been doing. You could look head-to-head data maybe, but I would look at last 10 and positions allowed. So Memphis allows 30% to centers and small forwards. Last 5, it's going to be centers and small forwards at 80%. And then shooting guard mixed in there as well. Again, no head-to-head data. I would probably go for either a center or small forward. I would probably just go Matas. His odds probably won't be great. Yeah, plus 575. Giddey will take it down. So the point guard, that's another reason. The point guard usually takes it down and they have a designed play. So if that play doesn't work, then Giddey will make it. Like another reason, you can see here. Giddey has shot 11% of the first, or so one of 9 he's shot, but he actually missed. You look at Matas, he's shot 33% of the first team. And then the other 33, Trey Jones, some Jalen Smith, but interesting that Jalen Smith hasn't shot the first team attempt, but he's made 2. So that's another interesting little take there. Matas, the 3 he's shot, he has hit, he has sunk. So again, probably won't bet on this game. If I had to put money on it, it would be Matas, Buzelis, or Trey Jones. Probably leaning a little more towards Matas. But yeah. So kind of just showing you guys my process on these first baskets. I think it's really important to make sure you know who's going to win the tip and then go based off of head-to-head if there is any. If there's not, go based off position. I'm just saying, don't be surprised when Kristaps Porzingis slams a dunk home tonight for the opening bucket. KP and Junior first basket. Do it, bro. Dude, I actually do like Wemby, Steven. I do like Wemby. Reeves, interesting. Wendell, Reeves, and Wemby. Wendell Reeves. Interesting. Usually, so another thing, I typically don't like, even if I know who's going to win the tip, against good defenses, I might not take as much. Like the Magic are playing the Hawks. The Hawks give up a lot of points because they have such a high pace, which, you know, isn't bad, but they just give up well, it is bad, I guess, but they're just a high-paced team, so they give up a lot of points, they score a lot of points. Wizards suck. They have, like, one of the worst defenses. Grizzlies, also a pretty bad defense, so wouldn't mind putting Matas on that. Lakers playing Houston scares me a little, but we'll get to that game in a sec. Let's go over Dallas versus the Pelicans. One thing you will note here is, so let's look at lineups. Always start by the lineups. Nembhard, Christie, Cooper Flag, PJ Washington. Supposed to start at center for the Mavs, so we'll see how that works. DeJounte Murray, Trey Murphy, Sadiq Bey, Zion Williamson, and Herbert Jones. So both teams appear to be going small. Not sure what's going to happen. Let's make sure we have Gaff out. AD obviously out. He's not on the team anymore. So I think it should be like maybe Dwight Powell starts, but apparently we have PJ Washington projected to start. He probably hasn't played in these games because I know he was dealing with that injury. No, he was coming off the bench. Yeah, coming off the bench. Dwight Powell getting the start. So let's see how Dwight Powell plays when getting the start. Hasn't got a tip in the last 5 games, which is interesting. Dwight Powell is 50%, so not terrible. Herbert Jones has taken 1 tip and he did not get it. So that's also interesting. Head-to-head, Dwight Powell doesn't have any data head-to-head, neither does Herbert Jones. So the 2 projected tip guys tonight don't have any data. And that would probably be a fade for me. If I had to guess, I think Dallas gets it just based off of their actually starting a center. Because Herbert Jones isn't a center, is he? Am I tripping? Isn't he like not even close to a center? Yeah, he's a point guard. He's played 10 times at point guard. How tall is Herbert Jones? Herbert Jones height. This guy is 6'7". Dwight Powell height. He is 6'10". So if I had to guess, I think Dwight Powell. Kendall, I think you're a little behind in chat. Yeah, Adam, so we went over that game. I was going to go over first baskets, but then someone said they didn't want to. So then I ran a poll after going through the first game. So we only have props for that game right now. Yeah. Oh, you guys can't see how many favorite props I have because of my face cam. But yeah, I have 3 favorite props. They are Banchero, Bane, De Silva. We'll go back over the rest of the slate. I just wanted to start with first baskets because I think starting with first baskets, showing you guys my philosophy on them, can be really helpful and just interesting. Wow, everyone just got moved to IR. I'm going to have to move everyone to IR on my fantasy team. Alex Sarr, Kawhi Leonard, both out. Let's see if I can pick anyone up. Small. Let's see. I need to see who's playing. Sorry, give me a second. In the championship, or not in the championship, in playoffs. Wizards have 5 games this week. Suns have 5. I already have a guy on the Suns and the Wizards. Hawks, Celtics, Nets, Nugs. Oh, man. That's rough. This is rough, boys. Yo, someone give me a good comment chat. Let me know who I should pick up. Who should I pick up, bro? Quita boards? Yeah, Luca, I got you. Okay, Herb Jones, I need to see if he actually plays center. I like, he doesn't, right? Like, there's no way he plays center. He has played center recently. Interesting. Very, very interesting. He started at center. Wow. They're down bad. They are down bad. Interesting that he's only taken 1 tip, though. Maybe Zion's getting the tip. Like, the center doesn't have to take the tip, right? Is that a dumb question? Does the center have to take the tip? Like, can they just start, or can they just throw Zion on the tip if they want to? Like, typically that's not going to happen, but in this case, when there's so many injuries, I don't know. I would fade this game. For some pretty obvious reasons. Seems like the Mavs maybe have a chance. What's happened head-to-head? AD, Herb Jones actually getting some. Cooper Flag got 1. I would probably fade this game. Yo, should I add Porzingis? Would that be nasty work? I like the silver for his boards, AG. I'm gonna add Porzingis, screw it. Okay. Lakers versus Houston. This could be an interesting one. DeAndre Ayton has a 64% tip win. Şengün 40%, but he's questionable. So Ayton with the better tip win percent. Probably going to go with him here. Last 10, he's 4 of 9. They're both 4 of 9. Last 5, 3 of 4, 2 of 4. So probably still go with Ayton here. Head-to-head, Şengün won, though, so does that play a factor? Who got the first game field goal? KD, of course. Or KD took the first attempt. Terry Eason made the first shot. Very interesting. Ayton took the first shot for them and made it. Wow, Şengün has made 6 of 9 in his last 9 starts. That's pretty crazy. For his team, 4 have been just in the game in general. Luka's taking the most shots, 3 of 10. And he has 3 first team field goals. Şengün's out, isn't he? He's questionable, from what I'm seeing. I don't think he's out. Yeah, Şengün's still questionable as of 3 o'clock Eastern, from what I'm seeing, Adam. If you see any updates, let me know. But yeah, so this is kind of another fade just for that reason. Kind of hard to bet on. Another filter I haven't been showing much that is really important, though, is first 3 field goal attempt per game and field goal attempted in the first 3 minutes. So you can see Luka is actually getting really good volume, which kind of matches... you would assume the guy who's getting the most shots in the first 3 minutes is also getting the most first game field goal attempts, right? That just makes sense. So he's getting 1.8 in the first 3 minutes, and sometimes those are converting to the first game field goal attempts. Let's check the season stats here just on a count. So it's been Şengün and Luka for the team. Şengün for the first field goal, so he probably has the best odds. No, it is actually Luka, just based off that volume. Just the attempts here, you can see 27% of the time it's going to be Luka. The other 20 is going to be Austin Reeves. Gabe Vincent's not going to start. LeBron only has 11 team first field goal made. I guess it's kind of a lot. 11 in 46 starts isn't bad at all. A lot of scoring options on the Lakers. I wouldn't pick DeAndre Ayton or whoever they're gonna throw at shooting guard. Or I guess Austin Reeves. So Luke at the point, Reeves at the shooting guard, LeBron at power forward, DeAndre Ayton. What position am I missing? Missing one of the guard. No, I'm not. Small forward. So yeah, small forward doesn't seem to get it. Marcus Smart has 6. But see, a lot of them are pretty close. I would just pick Luka, but I don't think the odds would be worth it just because how many guys are close, and I think Şengün has a pretty good chance. If you're betting Rockets, Şengün, Amen Thompson, KD, see, just a lot of guys who can get the first one here. No real edge. That's over the season. You could look at last 10 to see. So, like, Şengün clears in the last 10. Last 5, he has 3 in his last 4 starts for the team. Yeah, so really good stats for him there. But when there's Şengün, Amen Thompson, KD all on the same team, are you really going to want to bet that? I don't know. Love hearing that, SL. Slide a Como. Easton's line. Easton's threes line. We'll look at it after this last game. Now, I do like Wemby. This dude is literally 27 feet tall, so he is 39 of 42. I don't know how he lost 3 tips. I'd be curious to see which ones those were. But 92.9%. One thing I also found interesting is Brook Lopez. So I did some research. When he was on the Bucks, Wemby actually lost a tip versus Brook Lopez. This was, I think, in January of 25. You could look it up and find that. Obviously, it's just not showing here because he wasn't on the Clippers at that time. But I think that was kind of interesting. Now, I am going to take Wemby in this game, 90% in his last 10. So Wemby apparently has lost a tip. But still, really good stats. Can't really pass up on that. Kawhi is also out for the Clips. Now, I'm not saying that's crazy. Yeah, I say he's only taken 1. Over the course of this season, Wemby has 17 first-team field goals. Devin Vassell, De'Aaron Fox close behind. But Wemby has done 17 and 43 starts. So he's pretty much half. Pretty much half of the starts. He's getting the first-team field goal. First field goal, also Wemby. Let's see the percentages. First game field goal attempt. So you can see Wemby at 20.9% for the game is getting that first attempt up. Devin Vassell, 17. De'Aaron Fox, 17. Stephon Castle, 14. So from there, I would just look at last 10. You can look at position. So Spurs allow 40% to the center. Clippers allow 30% to the center. You can also see head-to-head, Wemby did get it. Where is it? First field goal made. Or no, first team field goal. So yeah, Wemby did get it. But the Clippers actually got the first made shot last time when they played. But yeah, I do like Wemby. Not sure his odds are worth it. I think for a team basket scorer, Wemby is, I wouldn't say a lock, but very likely to be the first one. So let me look. Quick hits under that game. Wemby is currently plus 367 on DK to be the first point scorer. First scorer exact. Wemby plus 600 for a 2. How often does he hit threes? Let's see, that's another interesting one. So over the course of the season, he only has 4 first threes out of 17 attempts. So first team exact, you can just take a 2. I don't know. I think that's pretty likely. First dunk scorer, Wemby is plus 170. I mean, I don't know why that's even a line. I would assume he's going to be the first guy to get a dunk in this game. But I guess Zubac's on the other side, so maybe that happens. I'm trying to see if there's just a point one for the first team. Is there not a first team point? There's first team field goal exact. First team field goal. Wemby's plus 225. First team field goal exact. Wemby's plus 320. Oh yeah, Zubac's on the Pacers. Duh. Sorry. I was just looking at the stats. I know that. Got Wemby at plus 470 this morning for FanDuel first basket. Nice. I don't see the first point on a team basis. I see rebounds first 3 minutes. Points first 3 minutes. Yeah, I don't think they have that. Yeah, really good look, Steven. I'm considering taking Wemby for a 2. Plus 600. think those are good odds. I mean, just considering what I'm seeing here. Look at last 5. He has 3 on his team. Wait, first scorer type. Hold on, I want first team. So confusing. First point, definitely Wemby. Plus 367, I think that could definitely be worth. But I don't know if I love it, though. See, Derrick Jones Jr., last 5 starts, he has 4 first team ones. Wemby's, yeah, basically the same attempts. He has made 3s as well. So I would take Wemby for first team scorer. First scorer type. First team field goal. That's what we want. Wemby. Plus 225. Another reason Kawhi's out. So the claw's out. Who's their center now? Niederhauser's dead. Oh yeah, Brook Lopez. Yeah, so I think that's a great look. Brook Lopez isn't a terrible defender, not a great defender though. Yeah, I know, Will. I was just looking at the screen. I know he's on the Pacers. Wemby and who else? I took Bane and Wendell Carter, and then I took Wemby for the first team just now, and I also took Kristaps Porzingis. I put a unit on each of those. Wemby only for the team. I think they will win the tip and he will get the first one, but no, they have Niederhauser, but he's injured. Adam, I know they have Niederhauser. He's injured, bro. Dude's on the bench. My guy out here dropping units. Yeah, bro. I trust my research. I think for the Magic, I really don't see any other option other than Wendell Carter or Desmond Bane being the first scorer in that game. Wendell Carter, as long as he wins the tip, which I think is very, very likely. And then Kristaps Porzingis. I think that one's kind of not a long shot, but if he starts, the Wizards in the last 5 games have given up, 80% to centers? So, that was a part of our reason the other day where we had Wendell as the first scorer. And then Wemby, with the team scoring data that I just showed, you can't really go against that either. So took Klingon first team bucket yesterday and it hit running it back today. I don't love Klingon against Claxton, but if it works for you, it works for you, man. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Okay, so we already went over this game. Could go over the Hawks. Although you could see PF rating for some of these guys like Dyson Daniels, they probably believe that Kuminga's gonna start because Dyson Daniels' line is lower, which means that it's getting more attention on the PF scale. Just something to always note. See, same thing with Ricochet. Lots of small forwards. Their lines are going down because they believe Kuminga is going to be back and get some good minutes here. So you'll see where's Kuminga here. So he'll probably get some of those points, rebounds, assists, minutes, etc., etc. I don't know how y'all take first basket props to y'all that do, I guess, scared money don't make money. I mean, I kind of just showed the Autism Boy Cottage 81. Appreciate the sub. I kind of just showed like my whole philosophy and reasoning for taking. I do have a video on it, but if you just rewind and look at the Wemby play or anything like that, I mean, the thing is, yes, they're long shots. The data can only get you so far. It can only really get you to that attempt. But if you like, or if you think you know who's going to take that first shot, then I think betting it at that plus odd, if you hit even like 1 of 6, you'll be positive when betting these units, like just as a unit. Or I think Porzingis was the lowest odds. So I bet Wemby at plus 225 for his team. That's a little different though. Like if you look at Wendell Carter, he's plus 760 for the game. Bane is plus 620 for the game. Kristaps is plus 560 for the game. So, I mean, I just don't think the data lie, man. Yeah, 462. I took Mobley, and I knew it was Mobley or Mitchell yesterday. That's why I'm betting both Bane and Wendell Carter, because I'm in the same spot. I know it's going to be one of them. I just can't narrow it down to who, because if you look at the Hawks in the last 10 games, you'll see shooting guard and center. And you obviously know Bane is shooting guard, Wendell Carter is the center, right? And then you look at last 5, 40%, 40%. Last 3, slightly favors the center. Head-to-head also slightly favors the center. So I guess if I had to pick, maybe I'd pick Wendell. But it's so close when you get down to the player detail of it. Like, you can look over the season. It's Bane and Wendell. You look at the first game attempted, this one obviously very, very skewed. No, Penda only started 2 games. He took one of the first shots. But you'll see Wendell Carter and Desmond Bane does have a lower, actually a drastically lower percent, but the first team field goals are just there, man. Like, you can see a first team attempted. Wendell Carter, Desmond Bane, Wagner is out, so that's taking like 40% right there. Yeah, I mean, again, going mainly off of position too, which can also help. First baskets hit like home runs. Exactly, man. Smack a 4-leg, you got a new car. Now, I would round robin these, but right now, if I had to parlay, I'd probably do parlay with Bane and Porzingis and Wendell and Porzingis. Do like half a unit on each. And then, yeah, I really think for the Warriors, Porzingis will score first. For the Spurs, Wemby will score first just for his team. I don't love the game stats, although he should win tip. But I really like him to get that first attempt. And then for the Magic, either Bane or Wendell. I think I'd lean Wendell just because the Wizards literally don't have a starting center right now. Like, you can probably look at Porzingis stats here, and his stats probably look really good. So he got 7 points in the first or in the first quarter in both of these games. Also in only 4 minutes against the Bulls. 2 of 2 head-to-head. Always good. Hasn't played a matchup without all these guys. It's another thing. Like, Horford. Jeez, look at all these positions that are out. It's crazy work. If Quentin Post plays... Man, do we still like him if he plays? I don't know how his tip win percent is. Okay, let's look at injuries. Just some injury splits here. For this game, we'll look for the Warriors first, and then look at the Wizards. Big injuries, obviously, are going to be Jimmy Buckets and Steph Curry. I do like taking questionable, probable off. I just like definites, which is why I leave out and doubtful. Curry, Butler, Al Horford is what we're going to want to look at. Moody, too, honestly. Like, what I usually do when all these guys are out, you just start from the bottom, and then if it says there's no data, then you just go up and up, right? So the next one, luckily, there is data, and we can look at that. I usually like keeping a minimum games at 3, but like some of these guys, there's only 1 games, 2 games, so we'll just go based off of that and look like that. Porzingis rebound chances are down. One thing to note is that no, they are in, so we're good there. Porzingis, I think will either get... Actually, I mean, we could look. That gets into, like, insane... I mean, like, who knows what it's going to be, right? I think... I mean, you could look, like, 2-point jump shot, 2-point layup have been 60%, I would assume. Yeah, so either a jump shot or a layup. I think a dunk could be in play as well. If you want to get crazy and go based off of that, you could, I suppose. Over the season, they do allow 2-point layups at a 31% clip. Over the last 10 games, it's 2-point jump shots. So probably either one of those. I don't know if the odds are going to be worth it. Let me see if I can find it. Quick hits, and you can look at... Where is it? Like first team field goal exact? No, first dunk score, I would take Porzingis. But again, I probably wouldn't bet on that. Where is this? First field goal... No, exact team. We don't want that. Where do you find that? I'm on DK. Where do you find that? First team... First scorer exact. There we go. Porzingis, 2-point field goal. So that just shows types. Can you see, like, layup? Oh, free throws. So it does free throws, threes. Not sure if you can do layup, unless you're on FanDuel. Kristaps Porzingis, 2-point field goal plus 1,200. I think that's very, very high likelihood. Or whoever plays center for them, realistically. KP method of first basket dunk plus 4,500 layup is plus 8,000 and other jump shot is plus 1,500 on FanDuel. I just can't get FanDuel. They won't verify me, bro. But I think either, according to the data, he'll either make, and I think this specifies if there's dunks. Yeah, see, like 5 2-point dunks, 1 2-point hook shot. But I would just take him for either a jump shot or a layup. I'm going to take him on DK for a 2-point field goal. Because I think he just gets in the paint, and who's going to stop him? I mean, how tall is Julian Reese? If he does play. He is... Julian Reese, height. He is 6'9". Porzingis is 7'2". So he's like 5 inches taller. I love it, man. I really do love it. I mean, I guess Terra. Let's see. It seems like he averages 1 attempt in the first 3 minutes, but that's only been 1 game. There's not much to go off of for the first 3 minutes. But I mean, I like him to be the first guy to score, so if he's the first guy to score, then probably like him for the first 3 minutes. I'm going to put half a unit just for funsies on Porzingis for it to be a 2-point field goal at plus 1,200, just for fun. Oops, where did this go? Sorry, chat just like closed on me. Okay. Let's actually do some research now. So, man, how long did that take for first baskets? Hour 30. Okay. Let's lock back in here. Dyson Daniels rebounds. Everyone on Jalen. See, Aaron, the thing is, I was kind of explaining earlier, kind of hard to tell on that. I'll show you what I mean in a second. Let me show you just the Warriors here. Let's go over the Warriors because we were just doing that. Wait, status, questionable, probable. Thing is, like, Kuminga's back, so a lot of their lines move down, which shows, like, a really strong PF rating. But if you filter Kuminga in, I haven't done it yet, but if you filter Kuminga in or out, like, the books think he's going to play. So you'd filter him in and then just look at what Dyson Daniels does there. But just make sure you know what you're getting yourself into. Gui Santos, over the course of 4 games without these 4 guys, averages 18 points. D'Anthony Melton got 23. So what's Santos' line? 15.5? Horford isn't taken into account, so let's just leave Horford out. 3 of 4. I mean, 12 shots, 19, 19, 12. So let's just say he gets 12 shots, 31 minutes on an easy defense. Yeah, I mean, 12 shots, 31 minutes. Only missed here against the Pels. Missed here against the Jazz by 1. So I would take that. Minus 103. Another thing, though, to note is, like, what position is he? He's a small forward. So make sure, yeah, so no injuries on the small forward front. Other than these guys that are obviously out. So make sure you take both of these guys out. So he's 4 or 5. I mean, that's just ridiculous. You can also filter in, like, D'Anthony Melton. I don't think it should affect the shots too much. Yeah. Yeah, that's ridiculous, actually. As long as he shoots okay. So he shot 1 of 7, 0 of 4 from 3 there. Shot 3 of 10 from 3, easily hit, even though he shot 6 of 15. So if he gets, like, let's say 13 shots, 4 threes at a bare minimum. Again, if you like a player at his bare minimum, you're going to like him at his best. So, what I say, like 13 and 4. Then you filter that. 4 of 7, so he's over 50% on his bare minimum. You could also filter, like, you have to leave his minutes. He's a player who kind of came in when these other guys were out, so you kind of have to leave his minutes. Like 25, I'll just leave that at another bare minimum. And then you could filter by, like, similar defensive rating. So you went 6 to 13 against the Jazz. You could also do pace for, like, rebounds and assists. Yeah, but pace hit there as well. So with the defensive rating, it's only taking into account 27 of 30. So let's just back this up a bit to, like, 5 out. Got 15 in both, shot 6 of 13 in both in 33 and 39 minutes. Gotta imagine he shoots better than that. But if he gets 13 shots, I do like his chances. 13 shots, like 4 threes on those 31 minutes. 4 of 6, missed 2 free throws. That's just unlucky. And then the other ones hit, of course. Santos on a back-to-back? He is. He just played 31 minutes. See, without injury on a back-to-back. For Moody, I don't know which Steph Curry it is, so let's just go here. Which Curry? We want the important Curry. So, yeah, on a back-to-back without Jimmy Buckets and Steph Curry, he is 2 of 2, dropping 17 points. Shot 6 of 7 in this game, jeez. And then 7 of 19. I would imagine, like, Will Ricard. Yeah, I do like his chances, though. If I go that route, then I like Daniel's rebounds assist line if I did the filter thing correctly with Kuminga included. I mean, if you just filter with Kuminga, then you did it right. But we'll look. I got you, bro. Novik has his line at 14.5. It's kind of concerning. Do they not like it with the starters for some reason? him with these starters. He's 4 of 29 with these starters. But then you have to imagine the injury report. Like, you take out Jimmy Butler, obviously. Take out Curry. Take out Moody. He should get 13 shots and, like, 4 free throws. He shot 2 of 4 from the line in both of these games. Like, if he makes those free throws, he hits. That's what's annoying. Chris, if you want to take, like, Gui Santos for his lowest points, like, I think that probably could be a good one. Seems to hit his assists as well. Don't know if I love taking his assists. Hit 8 potentials. 8 potentials, 31 minutes, 13 shots. For like 12. Let's just say 26. Ooh, so yeah, PA does look better. PA is 100%. We'll take that. Plus 100 as well. Don't think his points are that. Minus 103. Yeah, I like that. Give me Santos versus PA. Also, really, really good to look at PA on similar pace. So let's do that. Doesn't have much data on it. Only had 25 minutes here, still hit. Appreciate it, Aaron. Appreciate the time you took out. Yeah, man, I got you. If you have any more from this game or just when we're going through, just let me know. Happy to go through. That's why I do what I do, man. I try to show why, from a data perspective, everything looks good. So you guys get the best looks possible, man. Appreciate it. I think I'm going to do a $25 bonus bet on the first basket parlay. I'm so tempted. B-Pod 3s. Also, 6 of his last 10, 4 of his last 5 for Gui Santos. Only didn't hit against the Bulls. Another thing, like, does he play well away? Yeah. 5 of his last 5 on the road. Look at those minutes increase. Averages 36 minutes without these 4 guys. That's crazy. Quaid 19 PR. Let's look. Let me look at Dyson Daniels. Someone was asking about him earlier, and then we're going to actually go to Portland Nets. So if you guys have anything from that, let me know. Narth has Banchero, I don't know what his name is. Boards at 12. What's he looking at? Okay, let's look at Dyson Daniels, and then we'll look at Paolo. So, Paolo, rebound chances. Rebounds are down without these guys. I would assume something without Jonathan Isaac shows an increase. No. He averages 8.8. Actually, it probably is without Jonathan Isaac. On a similar pace, maybe? Yeah, so that's what he's looking at. Jonathan Isaac with a similar, or without Jonathan Isaac and a similar pace. He is 2 of 2, getting 13 and 12 boards. 26, 13, 16, 12. Now, one thing I would always consider as well, so like Wagner out, Anthony Black did play, but that shouldn't affect it too much. Another thing you're going to want to look at is like, even just on a similar pace, that looks good. Another thing you're going to want to consider, though, is like with Carter. So like, yeah, all these games were with Carter, so that's always a good sign. Mortiz Wagner shouldn't change anything too much. You just want mainly like the big rebounders. Like even De Silva, since we liked his over, you could take him. into account. Where's De Silva? There he is. No one else really matters from there. But instead of, like, most people just filter by starters, I would kind of be hesitant on that, because when you're researching rebounds, you just want to filter the guys, obviously, who are getting rebounds. Like Desmond Bane, how many rebounds does he average? If you click this, only reason I'm doing that is because it saves here. See, he doesn't get many rebounds, so you don't really have to filter him in unless you really want to. You get to see how many games he played in there, and then kind of make your decision based off of that. He should be here. So yeah, he's even played in all of these games. But again, with all these starters who are pretty good rebounders, the similar pace is already filtered in. Wait, where was it? Without Jonathan Isaac. He looks like a really good candidate for sure. So 13-12, I actually do like that as a long shot. First basket picks, I have Desmond Bane and Wendell Carter. And then, yes, both for the Magic, because I think it's going to be one of them. And then Porzingis for the first point scorer. And Wemby for his team. For a team first basket. So yeah, Aaron, this is kind of why I like this. I mean, 12 and 13 is nasty. 15 chances, 13 boards is crazy. Like, that is insane. De Silva only had 4. Rebounds there are also nasty. These were against, like, bad rebounding teams, though, with a high pace. I guess the Hawks give up a lot, too, though. Something you can look at is, like, recency. Like, see, last time he played him, he had 11 on 14, and that was with Jalen Johnson. And Jonathan Isaac, who stole 3 of them. So, what are the odds for 12? Plus 388? What did he get it at? I bet the odds are higher. Ooh, Nart just posted again. Posted goal scorers. If you guys are in on goals, he posted Jack Hughes, Jason Robertson, and Martin Nikas. Looks like he just parlayed it. He got this at plus 425. Yep, that's why he's a sharp bettor, man. Got this at plus 425. It's dropped to plus 388. This pace filter has been nasty, though. So, yeah, looks good. Does look good. Even if you don't want to take that, you can take him for a double-double. He's a plus 160 on double-double. Instead of just rebounds. Have we found any gems? No cap. I think right now, we also found Gui Santos. I think Banchero for his points is my favorite. But Bane and De Silva at these odds are hard to pass. Now, De Silva in that one game without Jonathan Isaac. Yeah, getting good rebounds. Only without Jonathan Isaac on a similar pace in these games wasn't getting good rebounds, which is interesting. But also wasn't getting good minutes. Without these inactives, or without the injured players, he is getting good minutes. 27, 34, 31. Let's actually look. Without injured on a similar pace, just without Isaac in these 2 games. I think they probably killed him. No. So I don't know why he wasn't getting good minutes. Oh, Anthony Black was in. Yeah, so that changes everything. Changed everything minutes-wise. And Wagner. So yeah, that's why De Silva's getting minutes. He's starting now. So he times this by 2 or 3, or not 3, but he times this by 1.5, and he's over. He's over with the 4. High on Danny Wolf's rebounds. Interesting. Another thing you can look at is volume trends, so you can filter by these games. Filter by just the Magic. Their minutes, De Silva is getting an 11-minute increase over his last few games, which is always good. And then you can see his rebounds. He averages 6.3 rebounds over the last 3 games. Yeah, really good stuff there. Good stuff there. Let me add Gui Santos to the props for you guys. What was it, 19.5? PA? Like his PA? Yeah. Okay, that is updated. Ooh. Demand Santiago. Appreciate the sub, bro. Opinion on Derek White, RA. We're not quite at that game yet. We're going over Portland and Brooklyn now. This might not take too long, though, so hold that thought. We'll see if there's any edge we like in a 10-point spread game. Everyone is out. Wait, let's make sure. Looks like everyone is out for the Nets. I can see why people are on... I could really see why people are on Danny Wolf, actually. With all these centers out. It's going to be interesting. Saraf getting an increase. Yeah, Danny Wolf getting 13 rebound chances off these guys. For example, if he gets those 13 rebound chances, let's see what he gets. 5 of 7 on his rebounds. Didn't hit against Washington, which is interesting, as Sar was in the game. And then Cleveland, that's a hard matchup. Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, they each had 9 and 10. Oh, but this one against Klingon? Ugh. If he can't hit against Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, is he going to hit against Klingon? I don't know. Doesn't have any data without these guys. Usually gets 26 minutes. Could be a good look, actually. Plus 544 for a double-double. Doesn't seem awful. Also, keep in mind, I did post today NHL videos on goal scorer matchups. Those will come out, or those are out. Skater stats will be out tomorrow, so if you're on the lookout for that, or look out for those videos, then you know where to look. Rebounds 100% without Day'Ron Sharpe and MPJ. Doesn't have any data with Clowney, unfortunately, or Terrence Mann being out, but you would assume he gets more. Demon was also out. Let's say he gets like 12 chances on 26 minutes and see what he gets there. It's going to be nasty. 12 chances. Yeah, so, I mean, I think his double-double is definitely worth a sprinkle. I do like his... I like his PR, actually. How many shots from 3? Should get, like, at least 3 3-balls as well. Obviously, that's not going to change the data. But again, against Klingon, do we like it? I don't know. I don't know if we like it against Klingon. Also, not getting great minutes with these starters. Unless that's because we haven't filtered these guys out yet. He had 13 minutes here without Day'Ron Sharpe. Just nothing there. Yeah, I don't love it against Klingon. I see the perspective, but I don't like the... I don't know, I don't love the chances, to be honest, against Klingon. Just scares me. This is just a fade game, man. Nets minus or plus 10 against Portland with a low spread, low pace. See, 222, I like it at 225, 226, and then very high spread. Similar pace. I don't know, man. What does he get? How many minutes is he getting? Uh, does seem to hit, unfortunately. I don't know. I think that's maybe a live bet situation. If you see him at halftime and you like him for a double-double, if he's playing well, then maybe that's something you can bet on. I don't know. I do not love the matchup against Klingon, though, I'll tell you that. Should get some decent minutes. He sees minus 150 to go under on BetMGM. Pretty sharp book. I don't know. Not to spoil the vibe, but is your program similar to Outlier? Starting to get into the handicapping field. So I don't know what Outlier is. I probably should. It's probably similar, but we... Oh, Outlier's AI? Or no, Outlier Bet. Yeah, I mean, similar, but the price is lower, I would assume. And I've never... Yeah, our price is lower. But I don't really want to compare us to any other app that's, they can do whatever they want. But I don't use anything else for my research. I think Propfinder has all the data you could possibly ever need. We have a research page which shows just generally what stats we think are better, over, under, and then you can filter by whatever filters you want here. There's billions of cheat sheets that you can use for all sports. And yeah, so obviously I'm biased because I've worked on the app, but I really don't think there's anything else you could need. Also, we have a suggestions page, so if there's something you think we do need, there's a lot of suggestions on things we can improve. We appreciate you guys for that, by the way. But if you have any suggestions, you can put it in our Discord. We have a tab for it, and you can join our Discord for completely free. You can join our Twitter. On Discord, I post all of my bets there. On Twitter, Marco posts some parlays or things like that, retweets bets. So you'll see a ton of bets and just value all the time there. And then you'll also see my bets here if you follow me on Pickit. I think everyone should have Pickit. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but it's a bet tracker. So it tracks your units, your actual dollar amounts, but really important to track your bets. So... Wendell Carter for a double-double could be an interesting one. I like Paolo for a double-double, to be honest. Yeah, I like Paolo. Underdog, what's up, bro? NBA boosts in play. Let's see what they got. 30% boost, 50% boost. Okay, decent. Also, who you guys have winning March Madness? Who you guys got? Let me know. Curious. I'm not biased or anything, Purdue. Not biased, but Purdue's winning. I go to Purdue, by the way, so. Not biased. Not mad about the UConn win. Nothing like that. Duke? Interesting. I have Duke. I think they're going to lose early on. Like, not early on, but like third round exits. March Madness is crazy, man. It's March Madness for a reason, not Marshmallow Fest or something. Like, it's March Madness because it's insane. Devin Booker has hit his points line recently in all these games. See this over-under, though. Someone said Devin Booker 100% PR and PRA with starters and without injured. And I'm glad you said with starters and without injured. However, how many of these were against a similar pace? So I can just see it coming. None. I'll give you a hint. None. The Celtics, if you don't know already, have a extremely low pace, worst in the league. Suns have the fifth, not worst, but lowest pace. And lowest pace means there's less points, there's less rebounds, there's less assists, there's less chances, there's less shots, less misses, everything. There's less everything because there's less possessions. So you can see possessions per game. You can also see last five, Celtics 28th, Suns 30th. So very low pace game, and this is what the books, this is how they make their spread, right? So you can see Devin Booker at a similar pace sometimes does hit. Is actually 50%, but he's just not getting the volume, and it's not because it's his fault. It's just because the pace isn't there, right? So I'm glad you looked at that. I'm not saying don't take it. I'm just saying I wouldn't just based off the pace. It's close. It looks really good just from a perspective of points. But we added a pace filter for a reason, just so you could see how they compare to a similar pace, of course. So his threes don't look great. He shot 1 of 4, 3 of 7 of 3, 1 of 4, so he's not getting as many shots up. Jalen Johnson free square? Yeah, bro. I'll use that. Is it actually a free square, or is it like a taco? Because tacos are not free. Oh, yeah, it is free. Bet. I'm going to pair... What am I going to pair with that? I'll just pair one of these. I'll pair, like, Bane. Bane assists. I'm going to pair Bane 3.5 assists. How much is Propfinder? So if you use this discount code that I put in chat, I believe it's only $10 a month. So it's 15 normally, but I think if you use that discount code, it's 10. Don't quote me on that. Just go check. But I know there will be for sure a discount on MLB. I'm not sure what the discount will be, but I think there will be a yearly discount. So if you buy it with that discount code for MLB and you just want to get it over with, just buy it for the whole year, there will be a discount code on that. So stay tuned for that. I know Liam already confirmed there will be a discount code. So yeah, 1049. So exactly. So $10. Most of these other apps are way pricier than that. We want to be the best and the most affordable on the platform, and I think $10 for a month is a very fair price to get all this data. It's literally the only thing I use. Obviously, I'm biased, but I really don't think there's more that you could need. We have a free Discord, free Twitter, obviously free Twitter. I don't know if you can even pay for you probably pay for channels on Twitter, but you can just follow us on Twitter for free. See all of our picks in the Discord. I post on Pickit. I do streams every day. Videos on how to use our tutorial, or how to use our cheat sheets, tutorials of those. And if you need anything, you can reach out to us on email, Twitter, Discord. You can make a support ticket in the Discord. And again, I have a video on how to join the Discord. If you don't use Discord a ton. But I bet if you get Discord, you join our community, you use it a ton, because it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of people in there all the time talking it up, talking sports. So yeah, make sure you check that out. Oh, Jalen, you dropping a trip dub tonight or what? What's up, bro? See, another thing I'll show you guys. So remember I just talked about the similar pace. Something that's interesting is if you go here, look at the highest rated prop for overs, Jason Tatum. 1.5 first quarter rebounds. And so, yeah, his stats do look really good. Look, his stats literally couldn't look much better than this. Last year, 79%. This year, 100%. Head-to-head, 100%. Last 5, 100%. Last 10, 100%. Last 20, 95%. And his PF rating is only at a 74 because of the blow-up potential and expected high-scoring game. So first quarter stats are obviously a little different in that sense, but still include that low-pace rate that the Celtics play with. So, again, highest rated prop. Look how many greens there are. There's only like 10. If you go to unders, I guarantee there's some crazy unders here. Look. Oso Adoro. Look. And you just keep going. Look at all that green. When there's more unders than overs, you just know why. The pace. The pace is a huge, huge factor. How do you get the pace lines to show? So if you click on a player, under graph settings, or under the line, you'll see a button that says graph settings. You click that, and so this is the average line, so this is the purple line here. Additional data is like if you're on rebounds, you'll see rebound chances. You could turn those on or off. I would highly, highly, highly recommend leaving on chances. And then opponent overlay, you could see defense first position, which is the thing above that shows. So, for example, here, also Iguodala is playing center, and against Milwaukee, he only had, or let's see, yeah, he was playing center in these games. So you could see against Milwaukee, who was ranked 24th, he only got 4 rebounds. Charlotte, who was ranked 30th against centers, he only got 4 rebounds. And then the Pelicans, who were ranked 2nd, he got 6 rebounds. You can see here that the Celtics are ranked 26th over the season. These are all season metrics. So you can see rank 11 here is a season metric. Rank 24 here is a season metric. Rank 16 here is a season metric. 30th, 2nd. So then when you filter by similar defense, it's taking into account this positional data. So when he plays a similar defense, he typically doesn't hit. But again, you'll see let me actually zoom in here. This might be a little hard to see on stream just for a sec. But if you look under right here, you'll be able to see his position that he played in this game. So you'll see he was the power forward all the way until this one game where he still did go under. But make sure you're taking position into account. Also, next to the player, you can click and then see whether you want to look at center or power forward, and that'll change these stats accordingly. So hopefully that makes some sense there. Oops. I'll filter there. So yeah. Defensive rank, remember, is based on position. If you look at the defensive rating filter, that is going to be based off of the defensive efficiency. So his under actually does look good. Yeah, I would probably take his under here. You could also filter similar pace. He's under there. His minutes are up, though, recently, so that's also something you'd have to consider. Like, you should get, I don't know, 24 minutes maybe, at least. Or wait, 24 on a similar pace. Nothing there. Similar defensive rating, he did get 6. This was a much higher paced game. Just signed up, glad to hear, Just Dre. Yeah, if you need anything, just reach out on Discord, Gmail, whatever. We have support tickets like everywhere. If you need any help with anything or have questions. Oh yeah, sorry. That boy Troy, sorry, I totally forgot your question during that. So then, the pace line, if you just click this, it'll show the pace line. And if you're filtering by pace, obviously, when you filter by pace, it's not going to show too much. The line won't show too much just because, of course, the line's going to be pretty steady. But make sure when you're on pace, you're filtering by the pace line. And when you're on defensive rating, you're filtering by the defensive rating line, or else everything is just going to look all over the place, right? But that's kind of what the filters do for you. The only reason to really use the pace line is just to see the recency. So, like, if you're just looking generally at the last 5 or last 10, you could see, oh, when there's a high pace, so you could see here, like a high fast-paced game, Portland is paced number 5. When there's a high-paced game, he performs like this. When there's a low-paced game, he performs like this. So that's the whole reason for the line, pretty much. If I'm looking at 2-pointers made, should I check pace or defensive rating? So anything with points, you're going to want to check defensive rating, because defensive rating is literally based off of this metric, which is defensive efficiency, or points allowed per 100 possessions. So you can see a lot of the teams that have a very high defensive efficiency are going to be giving up a lot of points. So Jazz, Wizards, Kings, Nets, Pacers, Bucks, Pels all have a very high defensive efficiency, which again, so like the Jazz give up over the course of the year 119.1 points every 100 possessions that the other team has. So really, really, really high number there, obviously. I think Iguodala's line actually looks crazy for his under on rebounds. Now he is the center. Let's see, without injured, he's 3 of 6. Head to head, he did hit once here last year. But it does look good. Okay. So yeah, research for this game, I would definitely look at unders like Sam Hauser, Peyton Pritchard. We took his over 8.5 RA this day, which, of course, he had 21 chances, only got 8. My rule is about half, so that's 5 over. Look at his assists. Oh my god, man. Yeah, so really unlucky there. Had 11 rebound chances, only got 4 of them. Had 10 assist chances, only got 4 of them. Again, we had the over on his 8.5 RA, and he got 8, so unlucky. Actually, his line might have been 9.5 RA, but either way, we still like that over because he had the chances, he just didn't hit. NAW first quarter points. Yeah, I mean, just 5 of his last 5, 9 of his last 10. I think Kuminga coming back does hurt that. He is officially, he's not questionable anymore, so he'll go. He's 12 of 21. I think he's been on the same team, yeah. I don't know if he's just taking more shots. I would assume. Yeah. So he's taking more shots without Kuminga. But maybe if you filter Kuminga in, it doesn't look great. Where's Kuminga? So with Kuminga, he actually has hit. How many shots did he take, though? I took 2 shots in both. Made a 3. Wait, what? Oh, he must have made some free throws. Yeah, made some free throws, too. Take his alt line at 4. He shoots so many threes. I don't know if that would matter, but certainly something you can do if you want. Someone wants his PR. So for PR, I just research one at a time. Rebounds don't look great on a similar pace. I would filter with starters on a similar pace. He only had 2 against Philly. I'd much rather take his assist, it seems. You filter similar defensive rating. I don't know if I love anything for NAW, really. Does have a good matchup positionally, so maybe that plays into effect for you. Only recently, though, and over the course of the year. Doesn't have a great shot type chart here. Pretty hard matchup against the Magic. We also saw earlier that they don't give up a lot of threes, especially recently as well, so that could play into effect. Has hit recently, though. Again, not getting rebounds, just his assists or hitting. Or getting the chances at least. 4 and 2, but he had 8 chances, so take those odds any day of the week. So if anything, I'd take his PA. Okay, we gotta move on, though. So long stream here as we went over first baskets. Paolo, I already like for his points. Some people, I guess I do like him for his rebounds, because he had that. Like, if you see him without Isaac on a similar pace, look, his stats look insane there. I like his points mainly due to not only recency, but without these guys, look at his average. He averages 28 points without these 3 players. So you take all these guys out, he's over in every single game. And then under on his boards, actually, but These weren't similar paces. These were just without these players. So if you take similar defensive rating, points seem okay. Obviously, we're already on that just with the injuries. He should shoot, I think we said it was like 12, or no, so 14 times at a minimum. So we have that from just the inactives. We can just filter that in. And then you could also look at like similar pace for things like rebounds, assists. So maybe his PRA is the play. Without Jonathan Isaac, or just his PR. But I do like his... Man, look at his chances there. He had 10, and then he had 6. So say he gets like 10. Just say 14, 10, and then just need Isaac out. I mean, like 12. So this is what he should get. Points actually look the worst, but again, this is bare minimum. Should get closer to 16. Still hitting that mark. RA does look good. Narth took him for this, which is actually 50% when he gets 12 chances. So I do really like his double-double, though. Yeah, 71%. I'm probably going to bet that. Let me check if this is still... I feel like this is not still his odds for a double-double, but I'm going to check. Again, we're already on his points just because of with these guys out. That's what he was averaging. So, we like that just for his points. Should get... Or yeah, the free throws. So, like, should get, like, say 7 free throws. Wait, was it 16 at a minimum? Or no, it was 14. So 14, 7 free throws, and then everything else kind of filters as well. Points 63% on that, so you're going to like that. Also with a high pace, could look there. Doesn't look great on that. Similar defensive rating, looks better. I'm going to see if I can get him for a double-double. Dub, let's see if we can get it. Plus 145. So let's see what it is on DK. See if we can get it there. This would probably be close to a unit play, I think. I mean, without Jonathan Isaac, he literally gets an insane amount of rebound chances. On a similar pace, of course. But also, he's without Jonathan Isaac, Wagner. On a similar pace. You got 12. Yeah. That's nasty. Double-double plus 132. So I'll take it at plus 145. Put 0.7 units on it. Just taking that off, putting it down here so it's like in the same zone. Oops. I'm gonna put and double-double. Someone's asking for me to put the first basket props up as well. I would, but it takes up a lot of space. So let me put it on props 2. So if you type props and then the number 2, it'll have my first baskets. So first basket plays Wendell, Carter, Bane. Yes, they're on the same team, I know. Porzingis, And then, what was the other one? Wemby, but he's only first team. So he's only, like, first on his team. Yeah, so if you type exclamation mark props 2, as in the number 2, those will pop up. That man deuce. Okay. Next game, let's look at... kind of already looked at Phoenix, Boston. I know someone wanted to look at Queta, or not Queta, Baylor. So let's look at him quick. Why do you think he's going to get that many minutes, though? Minimum 19-minute filter. So he's getting that... I guess he is getting that recently. Had 18 here against Miami. And he didn't hit. Shot 2 of 4, 1 of 3 from 3. Would you like for him for his points? With starters, I guess he is getting a minimum of 19, but he's not going to get the shots that he was getting. I would probably avoid the Celtics for a while. His rebounds look good. Again, though, on this game, I wouldn't take similar pace. So he's not going to get that many minutes, though, with Tatum back. I would be careful on this game. See if there's anything. See, there's no data on it with a similar pace. We could increase the pace a little bit. Still nothing. I would fade this game hard. If you're not taking unders, I think it's just too trappy. I think overs are very trappy in that game. Props are updated, Brian. All the props are there. First baskets will pop up if you type exclamation mark props 2, like T. Smith did. What is the best to look at for rebounds, and what's a good line for that or person? What is best to look at for rebounds? So, like, minutes, I mean, pretty much everything that I always do here. So, injury splits are really important for rebounds. So, like, if we look at the Grizzlies, you'll see here that, let's just filter everyone out. So, hold on, we don't want questionable, we don't want probable. So I always filter, so when you go to the injury splits, I do this so much I don't really explain what I'm doing, but I think I should. Daryl, I wouldn't bet on Tatum for at least another week or two, just to make sure he's back in rotation, he's fully healthy and everything. So, when you're on Propfinder, and that goes for, honestly, a lot of the Celtics players, I would just be careful on a lot of them until, like, he's fully mixed in that rotation. I haven't looked at his minutes. I'm not going to look at the Celtics today because the matchup is just terrible. I would not take overs. If anything, I'm taking unders, but I'd probably just fade. So when you're on Propfinder, go to this injury splits menu. Once you're here, you can click any game you want. Obviously, I start by one team at a time. And then status, I always leave out and doubtful on because that basically means these guys are going to be out. Questionable, I don't really think there's any point in doing research with guys who are going to be questionable because you don't know if they're going to play or not. So I would turn off questionable and probable, especially probable. It's same thing in NFL. Like, for those guys that are probable, they go, like, almost every single time. Like, 99.99% of the time. If a guy doesn't go and he was probable, I mean, you're just unlucky. Like, now maybe if they're on the Jazz and there's, like, 10 probable guys, maybe one of them don't go. But that's besides the point. I would mainly just turn on out and doubtful, and then go all the way down to the bottom and click up all the way. So go to the bottom because you get the most guys that are out. This one would be everyone that is in this filter. So you can see at the top here under Grizzlies, you'll see Clark, Ja, KCP, Santi, Scotty, Ty Jerome, and Zach Edey. You'll see Clark, Ja, KCP, Santi, Scotty, Ty Jerome, Zach Edey. So if you're lucky, This bottom one is all the data you need. Sometimes there's not many games with all of this data. Usually I like at least 3 games. You can see here, for most guys, for some guys there's 4, for some there's 2, some there's 3, which is good. So basically this is showing you how these players play without all of these players. So a lot of this, or how the starters, how the, whoever's playing, how they play without all of these players in red and or yellow. Ty Jerome is doubtful. Players hardly ever go when they're doubtful, so I put it in the filter. And then once you're here, you can filter by usage, minutes, points, rebound chances, assists, potentials, threes, field goals, steals, blocks, and you can just see. So like usage, Walter Clayton's usage goes up 4 to 21%. So his season average is 17.1. His new average in these 2 games is 21%. So the offense kind of running through him. You could also filter by minutes. So OMP is actually getting a crazy minute increase. 13.2% increase in minutes. So he averages typically, 17. Now he averages 30 over 4 games, which is a really good split to look at. You'll also see his points go up to 16 on average. He averages 10 chances, 6 rebounds. So I would probably take his points here. 11.5 is his line. And again, without all of these guys, make sure you filter. So like this filter here will take out all the without injured that are for sure out, but it doesn't take out the doubtful. So make sure you go down there, click Ty Jerome, and then look here, and you'll see he got 23, 17, 15, and 9 without all these guys. He had 16 shots, 13 shots, 10 shots, 13 shots. Shot 1 of 8 from 3, so just not great there. Also hit his rebounds in most of these games too, so his PR could be a good look. Has hit every game of his PR. Also has one of the best matchups in the entire league. Is 0 of 1 head-to-head, but remember, his minutes. See, his minutes are at 19. Also, this was when the Bulls still had Vooch, so another thing to remember. You would filter him here. So now that we have this, you have his data without all the inactives, and this is just taking out the inactives. That's all this data is doing. We could input starters as well, so like with starters, typically there's not data. See, Wells, Hendricks, Coward. So those are the only 3 guys. Maybe Coward would change something. So yeah, in 2 games without Coward, he dropped 23 and 9. So his field goal attempts aren't changed too much. And then Jalen Wells was in all of these games. So you could also just look. Jalen Wells was in. And then some other guys like, who are the other starters? Like Taylor Hendricks might have played in some of them. Like if you just filter everyone out and Taylor Hendricks in, he took 13 shots even when he was in the game. So I would just leave this on all and then take his lowest minutes and his lowest shot attempt. So it would be 10 here. Now 10 is kind of a low outlier. If you scroll down here, he averages 13. So maybe you say 11 or 12, but let's just leave it at 10 just to show you guys what I'm talking about here. You can also take his minimum threes attempted. So even though he missed these threes in other games, he probably hasn't, or hopefully hasn't. So you could filter him for 26 minutes, 10 shots, and 3 threes attempted. So let's do that now. And that won't change anything here. All I'm doing is getting this ready. So now that we have all of his minimums with the data we're looking at, then you take all of these guys out and see if anything changes. So now he's 4 of 5, which is even better. With all of those guys out and the minutes he was averaging, the increases he was getting, it's of course not going to change too much. But he does have another game here where he got 13 points. So also hit his rebounds. So good matchup, good minutes, Also, 5 of 6 in his last 20 when getting this as well. Didn't hit his points, but shot 15 times. So, really, really, really good odds here, in my opinion. And then from here, if you want, you could also look at like rebound chances. So, like games he gets 9 rebound chances and there's a good pace. Definitely would take his PR here. Is still over in all games with that. But yeah, hopefully that kind of clears up if you had any like I don't know, questions on that. But let's say he gets 9 rebound chances on a similar pace. So his rebounds are 100%. He got 5, 6, and 9. So maybe a double-double's worth of sprinkle. Also hit on his points here. You could probably ladder his points up to 15. Plus 168 for that. Has got 25 once. He's plus 1340 to do that again. Now, I don't think I'd take him for that, but yeah, because he shot 7 of 8 from 3. But again, he's getting good volume, so if you like those chances. And again, pace is for rebounds and assists. So if you want to look at similar defensive rating, I guess there's no data. You can expand this a little bit to see. Yeah, so similar defensive rating he's hitting as well. And that's just taking the 9 rebound chances into effect. Or the, let's see, the 26 minutes on a similar defense. Yeah, so 13, 17, 15, hitting his rebounds. Looks really, really good, right? But just kind of want to break down how I find that data and why I think it looks good. Then you can also look at an analysis here. So this takes without all of these guys. If you want to show questionable, probable guys, you can do that here. Walter Clayton, I wish it didn't input his into this all. But even without all these guys, he averaged 16 points and 6.5 rebounds on a really, really, really good matchup. You can look at it like a similar defense. What are his double-double odds? Because I don't... Plus 1620. He's got 1. I can't remember if we bet him on that one. I think we might have. But yeah, I'll be playing this. This will be a 2-unit play. I mean, you just take out the starters, or take out the injured, input the starters, give him good minutes, and he's hitting his PR. Or literally just take out the injured, and he's hitting. Yeah, they lost all of these games except one. Yeah. So what's the best odds for this? Looks like BetMGM or DK. Probably have to kind of filter through a lot of these. Actually, if we refresh, usually the odds refresh with that. Like, it doesn't even have odds. Prosper. No, he does. Okay, so let's go back here. Look at his odds, see what we can get. So for his PR, best odds I'm seeing are still BetMGM. Players. PR. Yeah, he's actually minus 115. Post ruled out? Oh my god. Bang. Porzingis is cashing, bro. Porzingis is actually cashing. Oh my god. Wait, are we cooking? Are we cooking on the first basket, Lace? Wait, what are his odds now? Wait. We got him at... I got him at plus 1,200 for the first 2. And plus 560 for the first point. Let's see what his odds are now. Wait, this could be nasty work, boys. He's still plus 560. Nope, his odds just went down. Plus 551. What's my Pickett referral code? Appreciate you for asking. I genuinely have no idea. I don't think Pickett really... Like, Pickett's not a book. It just keeps track and, like, tells you... Do I even have, like, a code? I don't know. If you go in the Discord, you can use my link there, but I'm not too worried about it. I just want you to get Pickett because I really think it helps. So, no sweat at all. If you just want to sign up, because I don't even know where to find my code, to be honest, but I appreciate you for asking. What about Dyson with the filter of with Kuminga and with starters? I think someone already looked at that. Just ask if you have one or not. Yeah, you're good, bro. Appreciate you, Jay. Appreciate you. Okay. Yeah, so now without Quentin Post, it's gonna be really interesting. Yeah, Jonathan Kuminga available, Jalen Brunson questionable for Tuesday. Don't care. LJ Cryer out, Pascal Siakam. That's all Tuesday. Quentin Post injury management ruled out. I think Porzingis might be the lock of the century, boys. I mean, we know it's gonna be a center. We just know, based off these recent stats. I mean, I'm not going to say a plus 1200's a lock, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if he ended up getting the first basket here. Based off the data, it looks amazing, boys. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. I also think I'm going to bet 2 parlays, Porzingis and Wendell Carter, and then Porzingis and Bane. I'm going to do Porzingis for a 2. How often does he shoot threes, though? Like, I don't want him to... See, it's always a 2. That's the thing. They always allow a 2. Centers, 2-point jump shot, 2-point layup. So I'm going to bet him for a 2. First scorer, Kristaps Porzingis, also went down already, plus 1180 now. And then I'm going to bet that with Wendell Carter and Bane for like 0.1 units, boys. Go light on this one. But I'm betting exact. So like Wendell Carter for a 2 as well. Now I actually don't know how often. Let me see what they allow. Yeah, they're always a 2 as well, or seem to be. 3-pointer for 10%. Love that. First scorer exact. Wendell Carter 2 is plus 940. Ooh, $25 bonus bet could feed families, boys. I just bet a $25 bonus bet on Wendell Carter, first bucket to be a 2, and Porzingis first bucket to be a 2. 25 pays 3,500. Come on, boys. Come on now. Got these bonus bets. Might as well use them. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? Come on. That would be the most nasty parlay of all time. It's cashing. It's cashing. It's cashing. Nah, but for real, go light or use a bonus bet on it. Prosper, I believe, already bet. I'm going to need to bet all these other ones as well. Like De Silva, Bane, Paolo. We'll get there. Giddy for 3-pointers. The did word. The did word, good word. Let's see what we got. Diddy Giddy against Memphis could be a good shout, actually. Look at his RA. This is actually nasty work. getting really good minutes. I'm refreshing my Pickett now, so you should be able to see that ridiculous bonus bet. What about OMP for 17.5 PR? I still like it at that line. Without the current starters, he was getting like, I mean, what was his average? We can check in a sec. Let me go over Giddy. Pause. Let me research Giddy. Pause. We'll go over in a sec. I actually do like Giddy for his threes though. 2.5. 7-5. Only shot 0 of 2 here against the Nets, but the Nets have a pretty hard matchup. So like if he shoots 6 threes without all these inactives, he's hit 4 of his last 5. Averages 7 without all these inactives. Only shot 5 when Sexton was in. So let's just say he shoots like 6. See what he gets on 6. Like, does he go 50%? Yeah, 78%. So yeah, I mean, that's a pretty decent bet there. Plus money as well. Oh man, did you guys hear my back crack? Oof. Okay. What else? Someone wanted... Oh yeah, sorry. OMP, let's look at him for that 17.5. Like, again, I think his average was in the 20s at least. So without all injured, and then we have to scroll down, get Ty Jerome out of there as well. For PR, his average is 22.5. He got 28, 26, 19, and 17. So... Why are we doing Porzingis rebound line? He's not. He typically doesn't get a lot of rebounds. I think his average, it said his average was like 3.5 or something. This is nasty, bro. This is insane. I think we have a real shot, boys. I mean, plus 13,000, but like... Come on now. Now, TPFG just means 2-point field goal, right? Like, I'm not going to get screwed on a technicality. Porzingis. Quick hits. Also taking his over 1.5 threes bet. Just want to make sure I'm not getting screwed on a technicality. Yeah, I mean, I think that's just gotta be it, right? First dunk scorer. Porzingis! Boom! Okay. Someone said rebounds. His line's 4.5, so he just doesn't get a ton of rebounds. Could also be a minutes thing. He doesn't seem to be 100% yet. However, let's see, what are they giving him here? Current team. So he's getting like 20 minutes. All of these are losses, but they also don't have Quentin Post. Like, he's actually ruled out now. So, we'll see what happens. Yo, what's up, Gerald? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, let's actually do our streak poll. So, if you guys are new here, I do a poll every single day asking for your, like, favorite out of all of my favorites. So I'm gonna add, let's see here. We'll do Prosper over 16.5 PR. Although that might not be on Underdog. We all know how Underdog doesn't like doing PR. Paolo double. Gui Santos over 19.5 PA. And Bane over 4.5 assists. So if vote on what's your favorite, and that will be the first streak leg. While I research the later half of the stream, we'll vote on the second half. But yeah, so for those of you that don't know, on Underdog, you'd get a streak. So you bet a 2-man, and once you hit those two, you bet 9 more in a row, basically like a pick of the day. So your favorite prop, your favorite anything, could literally be anything. And you bet that, and if you hit 9 more in a row after the 2 legs, so you need to hit 11 picks in a row, which is daunting. Our high record is 7 so far. We've been doing this for like 2 months, so pretty decent. Maybe longer than that, like 3 months. But if you hit those 11 in a row, you 1,000x your money. So we usually do $5 or $10 on it, and then you get 1,000x your money there. So yeah, please vote on the poll. While you're doing that, drop a like. There are 198 people watching. I'd appreciate if you could just go down there, drop a like. Usually when I'm watching a live stream, I usually forget. Just need that reminder. So if you are liking it, I would greatly appreciate it. And yeah, I'm late, but I think Hawks are frauds and Magic will slap them tonight. We'll see, man. We'll see. I'll remember that. Okay. Najee Marshall, points looks good. Whose usage goes up? Flag Bagley. So Bagley might play. Ryan Nembhard as well. Ryan Nembhard seeing a really big increase on points especially. Caleb Martin questionable. 5 of 7, 4 of 10. Shot a lot of threes in this game. This was December 6th. This was recent, so this is what you'd go off of. Had 10 shots. Hit his rebounds as well. What's his play type looking like? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, we love that. Ryan Nembhard, point guard. Looks really good, actually. It's exclamation mark 2. Or wait, there's an exclamation mark discount. I'm not sure if PF30 is still a discount code. Try 2 months and it should be the same discount code. 2 months with the number 2. So 2 and then MONTHS, all in caps. Yeah, Ryan Nembhard, if he gets like 8 shots, we're looking good. We're looking dandy. We're looking dandy. Yeah, Ryan Nembhard looks really good. Man, look at his everything here. It looks good. Now what, that man Deuce? Now what? Two of 13. Can't make that up. Holy cow. Let's see. Let's do 8 away. 8 of 10, jeez. Sorry, had to sneeze. Looks good on his rebounds and points. Mike Wells. There's the sub. Appreciate you, man. Wow, no lines on Ryan Nembhard for threes, although he seems to get two a lot of the time. Ryan Nembhard. Let's see if we can get a look here. No props for him. No props for Ryan Nembhard. Interesting. Let's see if we can find him on Underdog. Wow. Does have props. Interesting. See, look how crazy this is, boys. Without these guys, Ryan Nembhard averages 4 threes, which is 1.7 above. On average, he makes 2 of them. What's his line on that? Man, even taking him for 1.5 threes would be nasty. He averages 1.5 steals. He averages 11 points and 23 minutes. 17% usage. How did I play Carter and Porzingis first basket? What do you mean? Like, literally how? I went on DraftKings and bet it? I played them for so that $25 to like $3,300. That was a bonus bet, and that is exact. So I bet them both to make 2s, because I don't think there's a chance they make 3s on the first shot, based off the research I did. Man, this data is crazy on Ryan Nembhard. Like, okay, 19 minutes, had 23 and 24. Let's just say he gets 19, even though he should get more than that. Don't really care about... was Caleb Martin in either of these games? I guess that... Or no, he was. Yeah, they started him. Screw Caleb Martin. Caleb Martin, yeah. Started him. And this was recent, too. So I think he gets 24 minutes... He shoots for 6 at least times, but he shot... Yeah, I mean, that's not really going to say much. Let's say he shoots 7 times at least with 1 3 on 24 minutes. Like, 7, 1 3, 23 minutes. Yeah, his points are nasty, bro. Even his rebounds, even his assists. What's his PRA? PRA, 85%. Threes. If I had to manually adjust this, what is this? 54%. Jeez, man. I think his points are the best. I'm going to take his points. He's chucking, man. He's absolutely chucking. For a 7.5 line, that's crazy work. FanDuel has like dunk, layup, 3, or other. I think Porzingis gets a dunk, Wendell Carter gets a layup. If I had to guess, gun to my head. But I would just pick... I would rather do it on DK or just bet first scorers, Brian, rather than... anything else. I also think Bane has a high chance of getting the first bucket for the Magic, so keep that in the back of your mind. Bane could do that as well. Prosper does not have a line. First quarter rebound, surely he gets 1, right? Without Ty Jerome. He does have a line for 0.5 on Underdog. Tempted on that. I'm taking this just as like a bank builder, so I'm just doing their lowest props that they have. So OMP, I'm doing over 8.5 points, which is, I mean, minus like 300. But I'm getting at like minus 150, and then I'm doing, let's see, what else? Do Banchero for like 20. And I'm only doing that because it has to be a parlay. Now that I don't have to only bet parlays, I like doing those as more of bank builders when I get boosts for that, than going and betting straight for actual long-term growth. Hit a king of the court 2 weeks ago with $5 left in my account. Ran it up to 380 over like 10 days. Nice, Cam. I wouldn't say that's nothing crazy. It seems pretty crazy. Who'd you hit it on? Yeah, no point line available for Ryan Nembhard, unfortunately. Really like his odds, too. Probably why they're not available. Miguel Rojas suspended 80 games for use of a banned substance. Bro, do you think he did that in the World Series, too? It's funny. Not funny, but you know what I mean. Probably why he hit the homer. That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. Low-key. I guess we'll never know. I guess we'll never know. Bro, Caesars, can you let me use your app, please? I'm trying to see if Ryan Nembhard's available. Other than that, though, we could also look at other guys like PJ Washington getting some good rebound chances. Sorry, let me look this up. Ryan. Okay, I should probably put Nembhard. Ryan Nembhard, first scorer, plus 1,000. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, that's all they have for him. If his line comes out for points, let me know. I'm going to bet it as a straight. It's probably a 2-unit play. De Silva I like for his rebounds, not for his points. Ooh, more injury news. We have Ant ruled out tomorrow. Nas Reed questionable for tomorrow. Draymond Green available to play. Oh, no. He's not going to start over Porzingis, right? Wait, Robert Williams? Did that just say he's ruled out? Wait, Robert Williams ruled out? Hold on, that's huge news. Wait, Danny Wolf might actually have a chance. Oh my god, wait, that's insane. Let's see if this is updated yet. Usually it takes a couple minutes for it to sync. But we'll see. Wait, that's crazy. They're favored by 11 now. Klingon averages 23 chances without Robert Williams. Jeez, bro. Also, I think Vic Krejci was ruled out as well. Yeah, Vic Krejci also ruled out. So you can just look at him. 13.5 rebounds is Klingon's line. Now, is he on a back-to-back? March 15th, so he is on a back-to-back. Need Robert Williams out. So he had 14. Don't love it, though. Hard team to go against, but also they don't have Taron Sharp, Clowney, or MPJ, or Terrence Mann, or Demon. Jeez. Barely had 14 in 22 minutes. Yeah, I don't know. That's still rough, to be honest. How do you think Bane gets first basket? I don't know. 3 or a layup. I think it, dude, it's just gotta be, surely it's Wendell and not Bane. Let me show you why I'm between them. Actually, let's see if we can narrow it down. I think I like Wendell just more off because of the matchup. But again, see, it's like center and shooting guard. Last 10 at a 60% split, right? You look, all of these are twos. There's been one 3-point jump shot in the last 10 games. It has been Bane more often. But last 3 games, it's been more towards center. But last 3 games, they are getting... It's going to either be Bane or Wendell. See, Bane has 2 first-team field goals made. Wendell Carter has 1. No one else has any. You can also look at the season. Pretty sure. Yeah, Bane has 17. Wendell Carter has 14. First field goals made, though, is more often Wendell. So even if Bane gets the first one, it's usually the first for his team rather than the game. You can also see head-to-head. Wendell Carter got one head-to-head, so I'm kind of going off of that, too. I don't know. It's gonna be one of those guys, I think. Use the underdog boost on the 50% boost on Paolo 20 points, Nembhard 8 points, Ryan Nembhard, and then Prosper for 9 points for a 3.5x. Earn a boost soccer only. Yeah, I don't think so. Nice try. Sucks that there's no props for Ryan Nembhard. Just gonna have to wait till that game comes out. I'm gonna put in a slip of Bane and Porzingis first basket for like 0.1 units, just to, in case it's something else, then we have Bane. Bane first team basket could also be a play. I can't rug. Bet365 hasn't verified me yet, unfortunately. I don't think. I can check. Wait, log in? Hold on. Send a code to confirm. Hold on, this is all new. Hold on now. No, verification is not accepted yet. I'm also going to type exclamation mark props 2 and you'll see my first basket picks. Okay. Hopefully these first baskets, you know, make sure you go light on these. You know, anything could happen with first baskets. Obviously, they're very, very volatile. But I do like Porzingis a lot. So we'll see. Under splits. Okay, Reed Shepherd might be back. Remember, he was on a streak for a long time just with his threes. Massive increase. Let's see if we can get back to that. 12 of 18, 80% on his threes. Minus 167 on DK to go over that. Shot 1 of 5, 1 of 9, 5 of 11. Shot 1 of 9 here. That's just rough. 1 of 5, just didn't have many minutes. Probably lost this game. Yeah, they got killed. Can't miss all your threes, bro. Can't miss all your threes, little bro. With starters, he's 8 of 11. A lot of the time he gets 4. As long as he gets good minutes, he should hit. Now, Şengün is questionable. If he doesn't play, looks a little better probably, just based off of recent data. But he should get some good minutes, good chances. I mean, how many does he average, like, on attempts? We could also look here. For some reason, the Lakers are really good at defending this. It's funny. They don't give up a lot. Head-to-head, 50% of his shots were from 3. Averages 8 shots. Let's say he shoots like 7. Let's say he shoots 7. He's 80% on this line. About this line. 51%. 51% on a plus 140. I don't know, man. Seems pretty decent. He's also the only guy who sees a usage increase without these 3 players. Points, rebounds, potential assists, field goals attempted, field goals made, threes is mainly what you're looking at. But also sees a pretty big increase in field goals attempted, 13 on average. If he gets 13, 74%, 89% on his threes. And then again, 7 of those. He really averages 8. 100% on his threes. 8 of his last 10. Now I don't love the line at minus 167, but I mean there's a reason for it, right? He's 8 of his last 10, 72% on the year. On some of these games, he just wasn't getting good minutes for whatever reason. Yeah, it's just nasty. It's just absolutely nasty. Austin Reeves, DeAndre and Luka. Ooh, Austin Reeves seems to be back on the assist train here. 5 of his last 5 on 4.5 assists. Now, the Rockets do have a very good defense, but recently, giving up the most in the league to point guards. On the season, they give up 5.5. In the last 5 games, they give up 8.6. Recency is king in NBA, so I would probably say this is a pretty decent line. So let's filter with starters. Wasn't getting great minutes. Should have hit there. $1 on a 4-leg first basket parlay. We'll see, man. Good luck on that. Lotto ticket. Rebounds are better. What about RA? RA is even better. 8.5. Thing is, here, like, he wasn't getting his normal minutes. Like, he should get... Averages 34 on the season without Kleber, so he should get, like, 37. What is he getting recently? 34. You can see recently he's getting 38. Had 45 here. I guess this was an overtime game. Let's just say he gets 35. 34. With starters... Looks good. Rebounds do probably look better, but with Luka and Braun and Ayton, that seems weird, but the data, I mean, obviously doesn't lie. Sam Hauser threes. A little late. Yeah, Williams is out. Nothing really changed on Klingon, though, Sav. Honestly. No Sexton? Whoa. I almost typed Diddy instead of Giddy. No Sexton makes things interesting. Yeah. Still looks good, right? Like I think the number we landed on was like 6. Also, look, 9, 9, 11. Like, that's crazy. If he shoots like 6 threes, I think his numbers look insane. He should shoot 9. Like, recently he's shooting a lot more. So, maybe worth a sprinkle there for a ladder. Chicago -7 on a similar pace. Bro, if he gets 6 threes on a similar pace. Hold on. No, he only had 2 of them against the Hawks. His assists. Almost got tripped out. Had 4 and 6. It should be updated, AG. I think it's updated. Even if it's not, it is now. It's syncing. Let's see, I had 9 open bets. Let's see if it changes. Yeah, I think Giddy for a sprinkle here is a good look, actually. Barely plus money now. Was plus 108. What happened, Kay? What happened, bro? Oh no, Giddy odds are down. No! No, Giddy, come back. Underdog hasn't changed it yet. I'm getting Giddy and someone else. I'm putting it on this boost. Giddy. Paolo. Oh, no, I did Paolo in the last one. Gonna do Prosper rebounds this time instead. Thinking outside the box. Then we'll do Bane for like 3 assists. There we go. I do have bonus bets on Underdog. When did these expire? 4 days, 5 days. Okay. Might need to bet something there. We'll use those when we see a good double-double option. Sorry, let me type the new props as well. You can see them on your screen, but I'm going to type them in. Santos. Wait, the last one I typed was Santos. Oh, yeah. Just Prosper. Prosper over 16.5 PR. Nemhard over 7.5 points. Make sure Ryan Nemhard. I don't think the Pacers. Yeah, Pacers aren't playing, but just know that's Ryan Nemhard. I don't know. Are they brothers? Is that a thing? I'm personally not betting on Tatum, but I could look for you. Also, I wouldn't ever bet with this over-under. I would only bet unders in this game. I mean, 50% on the year, you can't really... There's, like, nothing to compare, so I don't know. I wouldn't bet it. Got you, AJ. Giddy's now favored to make 3. Kind of want to do a ladder of 4, 5, and 6. I think he gets 9 threes. Like, I think he shoots 9 threes, I should say. I know Narth was also on Cam Spencer. We could look at his parlays to see what he's on. Let's see what he had. Oh yeah, Sadiq Bey, 8+ rebounds could be interesting. But let's look at Giddey first for a sec. Giddey, how often has he played with Colin Sexton? Like, it shouldn't change much. Yeah, 36 games. He was on a different team. So I guess he has played a bit with him. See, look at that. Without injured with these starters. How many threes? 4 and 6. Shot 9 and 9. Yeah. So, like, I think he's going to shoot 9 threes. Let's just see how he does when he shoots 9 threes. 4, 5, 6. I mean, that looks nasty. I'm going to bet also with a really high pace. So I don't know if there would be anything. Yeah, there's nothing with a high pace. Shot 1 of 9 against Charlotte. Jeez. Hit here against the Lakers, though. Is this the one he cashed on a half-court heave? That would have been nasty. I think it actually could be. Okay, I'm going to do 0.7 units, or I'm going to do 1 unit, and then 0.7 units on 5. Let me make sure I want to do this. No, not 0.7 units on 5. I'm going to do 0.7 units on 4. Whoa. 0.7 units on 4. And then half, or like a third of a unit on 5, and then like 0.15 units on 6. Because he's only hit that once. It's worth a chance, though. If I haven't any long shot double-doubles, I still haven't, honestly. I mean, Giddey, but he will get a, like, yeah, he's favored too, so. I mean, if you want real long shots, where were the other guy? Like, if you want long shot, like Prosper, he doesn't have one this year, but maybe against the Bulls he gets one. I don't love his chances with Giddey back. Has this guy ever got? Yeah, hasn't even got close. Had 10 assists. Actually did have some double-doubles. On assists. And looked like without injured. Without these guys. Was close. Like, I don't love it, though. I mean, I don't think the odds are worth it. I'm not going to force anything. Prosper, like, maybe. I really like his points and rebounds. His rebounds line, though, is only 4.5. So I like him to get like 6, 7, 8 maybe, but not 10. Had 1 here against Dallas. Does have the matchup to do it. Jalen Smith is back though, so that could definitely affect things. Yeah, I don't know. I'll just be careful. PJ Washington could be a good shout. What am I? Oh, I'm only on 1 game. So PJ's the center, which has he ever played? He's like never played center. Rebound line is 6.5. Jeez, head to head he looks nasty too. PJ Washington could be a really good double-double, actually. Plus 492, and he's hit in the last 2 games? Hold on now. Might have found one here, boys. Yeah. Wait, PJ Washington. Who's playing? He had one against Mobley? No Allen. Mobley had 11 boards. PJ did too. He's not center. Yes, he is, Rug. Yes, he is. Unless Bagley's going to play. Is Bagley playing? Hold on. Could be right. It's not, like, officially out yet, but that's why I was confused. He's never played center. So PJ's probably going to come in as, like, a depth piece. How many minutes do we think he's going to get? He's getting good minutes recently. This is a back-to-back, though. Wow, look at his rebounds on back-to-backs. Hasn't got a double-double, but pretty close. They aren't scared to play him. They just got killed this game. So this game against Boston. Should get like 28 minutes minimum. Either way, though, even if he doesn't play center, yeah, I love his double-double chance. He technically doesn't have one because he got 9 points, but he shot 2 of 8, missed 3 free throws. Yikes. And then missed by 1 rebound here. So, yeah, I love that, man. I think the best long shot parlay that I could come up with right now, PJ Washington double-double, Giddy for 4 threes, and then, like, Porzingis 2-point field goal. First basket. No cap. Put that in. Let me know when it cashes, bro. Got you, bro. I got you. AG, it's on the picket, bro. Let's look at the injury splits, actually. I mean, this just should confirm what we already like. Let's just make sure we like it. Yeah, PJ Washington averages 9 rebounds. Plus 474 for that. I'm going to use a bonus bet on that. I wouldn't bet on Bagley also getting one. I'd rather take PJ. See, like, Bagley had 1 game. He only had 10 chances. He just doesn't get the minutes either. Like, see, his minutes are just bad. We could filter, like, without injured. Like, you would think his minutes would be better without Gaff and Clay, but they're just not, man. They're just not good. He had 15 in that game. When PJ, mind you, got a double-double. He came off the bench. See, PJ did start at center. So, I don't know, man. I think it's definitely possible PJ starts at center this game, boys. Pelicans for centers, they're getting killed. Let me make sure we're on rebounds. Oh, you mean the centers are getting killed? I guess. Some. Like, Bona and Drummond had a double-double on the same day. That's kind of nasty. We'll see, man. It's a long shot, right? Like, I think there's a chance. Let's see, is there a similar pace here? Yeah, see, like, he had 11 here on a similar pace. Had 9 here. I'm gonna take his rebounds for a unit, or to win a unit. You guys know what I do. Minus 122, are those the odds floating around? Yeah, looks like it. Could check MGM quick. Also true, Lucas. Bro, why am I looking up PJ Washington and the Bears are popping up? Like, what? PJ Washington, here's the Chicago Bears. Or the Hammond Bears, whatever they go by. Okay, let's see if his... Minus 125. Or minus 122. I think I'll take minus 125, please. No. I'm just gonna go click his rebounds too. Okay. So again, I think that's the best bet for the injuries that the Mavs are going through. Good comms on the PJ Dub. I think I didn't even look at rebounds or chances. I was too focused on Ryan Nembhard points. So we got that, and I'm like, ooh, Ryan Nembhard points look good. PJ Washington also averaging a really high number of field goals attempted, made some decent threes. But yeah, rebound chance is what we're looking at. He's usually averages 14. He's gotten 9 as an average in both games. So if he gets like 14 chances, what are we looking at there? Yeah, like at least should hit his rebounds. And then gets a dub in 53% as long as he is hitting his points. Yeah, 41%. He's getting a dub. Without Gaff, 1 and 3. Yeah, I mean that's like, look at these odds. Without Gaff, 14 chances, which is just what he's averaging without Gaff. Porzingis not starting? No way. Bruh. Why? They're starting Draymond? No way, man. No way. That's so sad. Surely the bets get voided. If not, I'm going to be mad. Ooh, Narth just posted Gary Payton and Prosper double-double. Very interesting. Bro, why is Porzingis not starting? Come on. Come on. Now, if Draymond gets the bucket, I'm going to be mad, but I don't want to bet on him, too. Oh, that's so upsetting. Yeah, I can't even cash it out. Surely it gives me my money back. I know you guys are saying it will, but, like, surely, right? I can see Peyton. Really? Peyton dub? If they're not going to start their freak of a center, like, why are you even trading for him, man? I just don't get it. Gary Payton's not even starting. Jeez. Yeah, I know Porzingis doesn't rebound, but I mean, where even is Okay, this is getting ridiculous. Need to look for Gary Payton here. Gary Payton averages... Is he going on assists? No, he's going on rebounds. I mean... he's not even getting the chances, man. I don't know. Bro, if Draymond Green gets the first basket, I'm going to be so mad. Quickly, let's just take a look. Let's just take a look. Draymond, in one of his last 3 games, he actually did get it. 2 first-team field goals. Hold on. No head-to-head data. But Porzingis isn't taking the tip now, so it doesn't even matter. Because Draymond's not... I mean, maybe he wins the tip, but yeah, that doesn't matter. Can't make that up, bro. They were scared. They were actually scared. Luka triple-double? I mean, that's a Luka, maybe. Against the Rockets, though? I wouldn't bet on it. If anyone's going to do it, it'll be Luka. See how low his lines are, though? 1 of 4 head-to-head. They just have a really good defense. Hasn't got one head-to-head. And I know I said don't look at head-to-head data, but all these were when he was on the Lakers. If they had all the starters, one did. He only had 5 rebounds, 7 assists. See, look at his chances, too. He's getting most of the chances, and he still didn't hit. Okay, so now we bank on either Bane or Wendell Carter, man. Bane or Wendell Carter. I really like Wemby team scorer, too. But we'll see. Okay, I think that'll wrap up stream. I'm going to go eat because I'm hungry. That's how that works. So, appreciate you guys for joining the stream. A lot of you in here today, so I really appreciate the support. Hope you guys have a good day. I'm going to type our Discord and everything in the comments, so you'll see that. It's also in the description of the video. So Discord, Twitter, my ticket so you can see all my bets, and then the discount code as well if you do want to try Propfinder for yourself. Yeah, appreciate you, Trell. So, yeah. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Probably be back tomorrow, 3 o'clock Eastern. You guys know the rules, so catch you then. Peace out, and